Welcome back to another episode of Macrodosing. This week's episode of Macrodosing is presented to you by our official presenting sponsor, DatChat. DatChat, that's right, DatChat. They are the official presenting sponsor of Macrodosing. We're very excited to have them on board. They will be the presenting sponsor of this program for the foreseeable future. So hopefully you guys like them. I've been messing around with DatChat a little bit on my phone. It's actually a very, very cool app. You can download DatChat for iPhone and Android in the app stores right now, or go to datchat.com/barstool, get more info, and download DatChat. DatChat is an awesome new social networking and messaging app. A bunch of us here at Barstool are now using it. It gives you the ultimate level of privacy, so you can message and share with people you know the way that you normally do. You can send a bunch of drunk texts that you want to forget later the next day. You can self-destruct all of them, pretend like it never happened. You can send private pictures. DatChat is great because there's no screenshotting allowed. It's the ultimate in private communication. If you want to talk about something private with your girlfriends or guy friends, maybe bachelorette or bachelor party plans, again, there's no screenshotting. It is the ultimate in privacy. Download the app now. Make sure to join our show page. We got the Macrodosing show page officially live now on DatChat. We'll be sending pictures from behind the scenes, maybe talking about some of the topics that we're going to be researching. You guys will get to see a little peek behind the curtain of how things operate here with the Macrodosing guys and girls. Maybe ahead of the Art of War book club, might do some of that episode planning only on the DatChat app, on our DatChat Macrodosing group that we have set up there. We talk about it later on in this episode. Madeline has some exclusive content that she might be posting onto the DatChat group page, a peek into her past and something that she got really into a couple years ago. She might still be really into it. Anyways, the pictures are going to be very funny.
Yeah, we all have it. Everybody on the crew has an account, so we're all going to be posting stuff in there. It's going to be really cool. Big T can post something, you can debate him on it, and it's all going to be exclusive to DatChat people only.
Yeah, we'll have a bunch of Big T memes where it's just him at that table saying some controversial stance changed my mind. Maybe you can engage in the people with some good, kind-hearted debate, Big T.
We'll see.
All right, that's a yes. I'm going to make it official. Big T will be debating you on the DatChat app. Go to the Macrodosing group, friend request us. We're going to be using that app a lot. Download DatChat for iPhone and Android in the app stores right now, or you can go to datchat.com/barstool to get more info. That's DatChat, datchat.com/barstool. Is it fair to say, though, that in certain aspects, Maine is not New England?
No, I think that about Vermont. I don't think that about Maine.
To me, Maine's kind of Maine.
Oh, Maine to me is the most New England.
Maine is more
New England to me is Massachusetts.
Maine is
Correct.
more New England than Connecticut.
Yeah, that's true.
Do people New
Not
York,
in my
New York doesn't
non-New
count as
England
New
brain.
England,
No,
right?
No, Connecticut's New England.
Connecticut's
I
like
know,
in the
but
tri-state
Maine-
area.
It is, but it isn't.
Are we?
But Maine is way more New England. There's a New England culture
That's
that
a fact.
Connecticut does not really envelop in any
Wait.
way.
Is New York technically New England?
No,
No.
that's the tri-state.
Okay,
So
I actually think that North New York.
like upstate.
Yeah, I mean like straight up.
What, like Poughkeepsie?
now I
No, I'm
We don't
talking.
claim it.
No, I'm telling you, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Maine are the stronghold of New England. And then there's border states. Oh, Rhode Island as well. Then
Yeah.
border
Yeah.
states are Connecticut, and then like
That's
New York's also kind of.
I would think that far north New York, I'm talking like Messina, New York. I'm talking Plattsburgh. I'm talking like right across the river from Montreal. You could make the argument that it has strong New England-like tendencies.
I would say that area is more Michigan.
It is kind of Michigan. You're
It's
right.
like Great Lakes. Like, you know, the farther north you go, the more south. Like, there's Confederate flags up there.
It's like beautiful in the summertime.
We used to do the drive to Clarkson St. Lawrence for Quinnipiac hockey. It was the worst drive of all time.
Also, I've realized. Okay, so since moving here, I've been here 6 months now. I'm from Ohio. People don't think Ohio is part of the Midwest here, which is fucked.
It is. It is
People
Midwest.
throw around the term Midwest too loose and fast.
Yep.
But
though.
okay, just as you say New England culture is a thing, Midwest culture is a thing.
Yes.
Oh, if Ohio doesn't have it, no one has
But
it.
people talk about the Midwest, and they say like
People think it's like
Indiana.
Oklahoma.
Indiana is not in the mid or the west of anything.
But people think it's like the Midwest is
Oh,
like
it's west,
Oklahoma. That's
friend.
the Great Plains.
Yeah,
Indiana's for sure west of things.
Indiana is absolutely Midwest.
Yes, like,
But
like
I'm
when
next-
you're using
Ohio
the word
is
Midwest,
next
but
to
it's
Indiana.
geographically it is not.
I feel like Germany could also be Midwest. they have a very Midwest vibe to their culture.
a lot of beer.
They're the Ohio of Europe for sure. I do like debating what parts of the country are considered what other parts of the country.
I feel like Ohio's like an island, though. I don't
It's
know.
not an island.
It is.
We
It's
have-
like its own. I
We
don't
have a
know.
lake.
No, Ohio. I would honestly
not.
put
Like y'all would say Wisconsin is the Midwest, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's damn near Canada.
It's a feeling.
Well, is
That's what I'm saying though. People use the term Midwest and it's geographically just patently false.
Why?
What is Wisconsin in the middle of?
The country.
Country.
It's next to Canada.
It's
And
in the
Okay.
middle of the country,
Okay.
east west. If you look
Middle is middle, not up. That's the north.
No, that's not how middle works at all.
That's
Middle
the
can be
north.
up.
Okay,
Okay,
so
well
it's
then
the
if
if you're talking center,
yes, okay, well then Indiana is not in the middle.
Like
it's not.
central.
It's not center. And yeah, there are parts of Indiana that are very center. The south
like
of
this.
Indiana goes
What's
down
Ke-
further than
There's
Kentucky. I'm
What's
gonna guess.
Kentucky?
Kentucky is.
you guys are in the E SEC.
Yeah, well, so
Kentucky-
is Missouri.
no,
Missouri ain't the South.
Kentucky's kind of they're shady because they act like they're from the south,
But they're
they
not.
role play as
But
Southerners.
they're not.
They fought for the North in the Civil War.
Yeah,
Well,
nobody
look-
talks about that.
Let me toss this one into the equation. What's Michigan? Specifically Detroit.
I feel like people say Michigan is the Midwest.
And it's more east than Atlanta is.
Yeah, I remember that. That still fucks with me.
That's so
That
weird.
still fucks with me.
yeah.
Was that you or Tyler
No,
that
Yeah,
but
wrote
there's
that?
there's like the north.
I think Michigan.
because people from Minnesota and Wisconsin think that they're like Midwestern, but they also are more like northern.
They're
Like, not
nicer.
really-
They're Canadian nice.
They are big. Like the Michiganders, those are Midwestern.
I think Michigan is the SEC of Canada.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
They're very
No.
very southern vibes in Michigan.
But only like,
No.
but not like Traverse City and Mackinac Island. Like middle of Michigan, landlocked
Yeah.
Michigan.
What about the UP, the Upper Peninsula?
Ooh, beautiful.
Shout out anybody any Upers out there that listen
Yeah.
to Macrodosing. I want to be the official
Are we
podcast
putting-
of the Upper
Are we
Peninsula.
putting this in?
Yeah, sure, why not? This is good
Okay.
talk. I'm eating some soup.
Yeah, what
drinking
kind of
some coffee.
is that? Some chicken paprikash?
What? Paprikash?
Chicken.
That's a Midwest term right there. I don't know what it is, but that's
That was just
that-
also just a crazy assumption on soup.
That
Like,
is-
you could have gone with anything else.
Wait, that's not.
that is
crazy.
certainly Central Ohio dialogue coming across.
Wait, whoa! You guys don't have chicken paprika?
What's
I've never heard that word in my
Wait.
life ever.
That sounds
Wait,
like something
guys, chicken
from
paprikash is
Bavaria.
like some of my favorite soup.
You're still not explaining
It's
what.
okay. I'm googling it right now to
How I wouldn't even. I'm trying to spell this right now.
PAPRIKASH. It's a Hungarian.
Yiddish.
Paprikash is a spice made from dried and ground red peppers, and it's like chicken, like how in chicken tikka masala, it's like the chunks of chicken, and it looks like that. It's like that color, and it's like a thick, creamy soup, and you put sour cream in it with crackers. Oh, it's so guys! I'm gonna get you some chicken paprikash.
I mean, it sounds
Yeah,
good.
it's
I've never heard of
Yiddish.
it.
I can't. Are you serious?
No, and I'm a soup fiend.
That's why I figured like you would come in with the chicken paprikash. It's a very fall soup, fall and winter. It
That's
looks
soup.
It almost looks
I
like
was going to say all soup is a winter soup.
No, but like you have to put sour cream in this soup. It's so good. It's so good. My mom's coming to the live show. I might have her bring us some.
Okay, I'm down. It sounds delicious, but I've just never heard of it.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I'll read it.
We have Booking Kelly coming into the studio here.
Oh, are you guys shooting right
Yeah, we're recording an episode of Macrodosing. Hey Kelly, quick question.
He's not even looking. Tell her to wave at me.
Coley
Or she's
wants you to wave
Kelly,
at him.
first of all, wave to Coley. He can't see you. There you go.
Hello. I'll see you next week.
He says he'll see you next week. Kelly, have you ever heard of
Whole
chicken
crew will be here.
paprikash?
What?
It's not a real thing. Not a real thing, Bad Dog. Sorry.
Everyone from Ohio / the Midwest is going to slide into the Macrodosing DMs if you as well love chicken paprikash soup.
But to answer,
I've only ever heard of it in a Tom Segura joke before. That's the
Really?
only time I've ever heard of it.
to answer your question, this is an avocado tortilla,
Ooh.
chicken, cilantro, some sort of like almost like a creamish broth. I don't know.
Do you go to the same place to get all
no,
your soups?
no, I mix it up. I have certain soups that I like from certain places.
Right. Oh yeah.
So I've got like a Greek soup place that I go to. I've got a jambalaya place that I go to.
Ooh.
I've got my chicken tortilla place that I go to. I've got a pho place. I got a ramen place.
Pho place and ramen place, like you gotta have. Those are completely
Yep.
separate.
Yep. But no, I mix it up. But I found that for the most part, if I go to a grocery store that has a soup buffet or the soup
Yeah.
station at a salad bar, those are usually pretty good soups.
There's one at that bodega right there. I wouldn't trust it.
All this soup eating gives off like mad like geriatric vibes. I'm just saying.
Why? Because I don't have to chew it?
Yeah.
You like sucking on your food, Billy? You like chewing your food? That's kind of sus.
No, I'm just saying like if you're eating soup every now and then, but this like all soup all the time is like making me be like, yo, dude, like that's a little senior home.
I'm respecting my body. I'm on a great diet. This diet has
Billy
done
said-
wonders for me.
I kind of want to get on
Billy
the
said,
soup
"Put that
diet.
meat in my mouth."
Yeah. This diet has cured me of 20 pounds of excess weight I was carrying around.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was a fat ass when I got back from Buffalo. Very, very fat. Arian, welcome. Can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yep. We got you.
Just finish setting this up right quick.
Loud and clear. All right, so I think Minnesota is
I can.
they are Midwest.
It's the nice. They have the niceness of Canadians, and then the climate of Midwest. They
Yeah.
have all 4 seasons. They're nice.
Is that what you say? They have all 4 seasons about a climate that sucks usually.
Yeah. Well, I've never said that there was a good climate.
You know
Yeah.
what's
you have the worst part of all 4 seasons. So it's either
Yeah,
bone-chillingly
sludgy.
cold or just mosquitoes everywhere.
Yeah, and humid. Really humid in the Midwest.
Yeah.
I was pissed how hot New York is when I moved here.
Yeah, it's a different kind of heat because you got the city
And
sidewalks that like bounce it
the
off.
heat just reverberates off everything, the buildings, and yeah, it sucks. I was like, oh, it won't be 100 degrees in the summer like it is in the South. No, it still is. And then it snows a foot in the winter. So
Do you
Yeah.
guys think that Florida is the South?
no,
Oh, Florida's its own thing.
yeah, it's
Florida
Is
and Texas are their own thing.
Without a doubt, in the South, y'all
Yeah.
bugging.
It's
The-
like
Well,
geographically.
culturally, it's completely different.
Culturally, it's Florida.
the panhandles the South.
Panhandle's the South.
Yeah, like Palm or what is it? Where does everyone go on spring break?
Yes.
Gulf
Panama
Shores.
City.
Panama
Oh,
City.
Panama City.
Daytona City.
Daytona Beach.
Daytona
Beach.
That's on the east coast of Florida.
Yeah, that's down.
That's like South Jacksonville, I think.
I always had this like like when I was like in high school, I always thought I'd end up at like Panama City Beach.
yeah.
Like
Some
for spring
crazy-
break?
no,
Yeah.
you still will. You do give off strong Panama City Beach vibes.
I always
Plenty
thought
of
like at one point in my life, all my buddies are gonna like hit like one of these beaches, but then they all closed because they didn't allow open containers on the beaches anymore. Now
Yeah.
there's no place for spring breakers to.
Hang on, I want to, Arian, why do you think Florida is the South?
I think it is the epitome of the South.
Well, like so you lived in Knoxville and Miami. Like those two places could not be more different.
No, okay, so there's a spectrum. Think of the South on the spectrum, right? There's extremely southern shit that goes on in both places that is hilarious to me, and that's how I quantify it. I wouldn't even, like Texas is not really that southern. Like in my experience, it's like the Hollywood of the South. Like people like to pretend they're southern there, but they're not really that southern. Like they don't have a lot of southern tendencies. But like Florida, Florida is like that's the South. That's the most South you can get.
Florida's half the deep South and then half New York. That's what Florida is.
Actually,
Florida's like.
I think
Long
I think I was thinking of Miami. Miami, you
Not
can
really.
make a strong case that it's not really southern like that.
Sneaky west coast of Florida is the Midwest.
like
No.
what?
No, like Tampa.
Like
hear me out.
Siesta Key?
Hear me out. There's a ton of Culvers on the west coast of
Okay.
Florida.
Yeah.
Did you say Clovers?
Culvers,
Culver's.
Oh,
which is a Midwest
Like a
fast
burger
food.
and shake
It's probably
place,
the
yeah.
most southern, the most Midwest fast food there
Also,
is.
a lot of wrestlers live there.
Yeah.
I mean, while we're just disregarding geography in these terms entirely, the Gulf Coast of Florida is about as west as Ohio is. That's the Midwest.
That's true. We're in the same time zone.
Yeah, I agree with Billy. My mom lives in Sanibel, and it's very...
It's
I love
Midwest.
Sanibel.
Yeah, there's a ton of Midwesterners on the west coast of Florida.
Yeah.
So what is Orlando? I feel like Orlando is the Long Island of Florida.
Orlando's.
Explain.
I feel
Just a lot of golf courses. Like nobody...
But it's also the happiest place on earth.
They all
we
seem
can't
like
get sued for that, right?
everybody that lives in Orlando, like it seems like they're cartoon characters.
Definitely, it's a mall.
most
Yeah,
of
it's
them work.
exactly. Orlando is a mall, much like much of Long Island is a shopping mall.
A lot of them work.
Yeah, and the Midwest. They're all the same.
Yeah,
A lot of strip malls.
sneaky great strip mall area is Northern Virginia. I went back there a couple weeks ago, was driving around. It's just one strip mall connected to another, but you can tell the ones that are more recently built because they're trying to make almost artistic strip malls now. It's still the same buildings. It's still, you got a Chipotle, you got a nail salon, and then you usually have like, I don't know, the place that used to be a Blockbuster that got converted into like some
Whole
sort
Foods.
of like a healthy
No.
wrap,
Nope.
like
Not
a
Whole
quick
Foods.
lunch place. But they're all the same. They just are starting to build them up to be more appealing to the eyes. But it's just strip malls as far as the eye can see in Northern Virginia.
I believe, yeah, that adds up.
I would think. What about Utah? What's
Mormons.
Utah?
Yeah. Like
BYU.
no one even knows.
It's the West. I would consider it West.
I think Utah's the moon.
Yeah, with all the salt flats.
Yeah, that place
Well,
is.
they think you get your own moon when you die.
Really? Is that
Are you confusing Mormons and Scientologists? Or?
No. The Mormons, you get your own
Man,
planet.
not
You don't know
that
about
far
this?
off.
I thought that was Scientology.
No, it's the Mormons.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, when we were talking about Mormons and the moon situation, I got a lot of DMs from Mormons being like, "Hey, you guys have wildly confused the basic tenets of our religion."
Yeah, I got
The
that.
thing is, honestly,
I think they debunked the whole "you get your own moon when you die" rumor. But
Hang
again,
on.
I don't know. I'm not a Mormon, so I.
low key, we talk a lot of shit about Mormons, and I know we have a lot of Mormon listeners. So
How do you know that?
because they all
They come in
DM.
droves.
They come in droves.
Say
They DM us.
everybody say something nice about Mormons.
You guys always have healthy hair.
Yeah, you're very attractive people.
Zach Wilson is very pretty.
Yeah, you're all attractive. Great job, Mormons. Keep it up.
Big trampoline community, the Mormons.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, yeah.
They do have a lot of sober activities.
They do.
They always
Oh, I'm
had.
kidding.
They're
Huge
great-
trampoline. Like if you've ever
And-
seen an overhead like Google map of Salt Lake City, it's just trampolines fucking.
Well,
everywhere.
you know why they come on.
So they can fuck without moving.
Yeah, and
A moon
bed-
bounce.
they like to jump on beds too.
Yeah.
So-
and soak.
So here's the passage from the Book of Mormon. And thus there shall be the reckoning of the time of one planet above another, until thou come nigh unto Kolob, which Kolob is after the reckoning of the Lord's time, which Kolob is set nigh unto the throne of God to govern all those planets, which belong to the same border as that upon which thou standest.
So we did get it wrong. So they're not moons because they don't rotate around another planet. They actually rotate around sun. So it's a planet, not a moon.
You get your own planet.
Planet.
We were
yeah,
way off.
Sorry.
Upgrade.
Well, so either they all go to one planet or they get, but then there's something about you get your own planet.
But not moon.
I'm down with that.
Because moons have to rotate around another
Fact.
planet.
What are you gonna do with your own planet? Like,
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
this is a
Wouldn't you be
whole. Like,
lonely?
I mean, you have to like mine the resources. Like, it's just a lot of work. You just
Apparently,
die
they
and
had
go
to do
work.
a lot of work pushing against this in 2014 when the Book of Mormon came out. They had to really do a press tour saying that that's not exactly what happens.
It's just that it's like
That is the greatest play I've ever seen, by the way. The Book of Mormon. I
Yeah.
saw that on Broadway.
Made me
That
cry
is
laughing.
Fucking brilliant, dog.
I think that's a good point, though, Arian. Getting your own planet seems like a giant pain in the ass. Something I would not want to have to deal with. You have to be responsible for the people that are destroying your planet, and you have to like enact regulations to try to save your own planet. We were talking a while back. I think me and Big Cat had this debate. If somebody gifted you the Arizona Coyotes or the Phoenix Coyotes, what are they called? The
Arizona
hockey team.
now.
They're Arizona.
The Arizona Coyotes. Would you want to own that hockey team? Because I feel like it would be a bigger pain in the ass than it would be worth to have to manage all the stuff that goes along with owning a sports team, and you get none of the good stuff because it's the Arizona Coyotes. Nothing good's
No,
gonna happen.
that would be fire because like
Yeah.
there's no ice in Arizona, so like the whole market, like you just do. So nobody expects anything out of you because you're in Arizona with a hockey team. So you can just do the most outlandish shit for marketing and branding. Like it could be the most amazing thing because nobody expects anything. You're not gonna win anyway, right? So it's just like, fuck it, let's just do the most crazy shit that you could possibly think. It almost like free range to really just wow the fuck out.
Haven't they been involved in like several like large scandals over the last 20 years and we don't really know or care? Like that's I think a check in their favor. Like you could do whatever the fuck and no one's like, it's barely gonna be in the news.
Yes, they had a big scandal where they were talking to people before the draft and they got draft picks taken away, but it kind of just got blown under the rug. Like no one talks about it anymore because it's Phoenix.
Because it's Phoenix. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying,
It'd be awesome.
bro. You could do all kind of crazy shit.
But then, Arian, then you can spin zone on your own planet. Like you can do all this crazy shit, no laws.
No. You have to literally find water every day. Like that's what you have to do. And food.
Does the cartel own the Arizona Coyotes?
No.
Speaking of cartel, I watched Sicario last night. Unbelievable movie.
Great movie. Sicario 2, not so much.
No.
Sicario 1, awesome movie.
Awesome.
Very underrated.
I mean, we saw the Danbury Trashers. It's just a money laundering scheme. Could totally see the Arizona Coyotes being a money
I'd like to say for the record on this show that the Arizona Coyotes are not owned by the drug cartels.
Just
We don't allegedly.
asking questions.
But I will say, I believe that the majority, not all, but the majority of rug shops are absolutely washing money. There's bro, we are not buying rugs at this rate. But you go to some of these like places, they're just like 3-story buildings of nothing but rugs. I refuse to believe that rug places are just selling rugs. There's no way.
There's this part in I think it's the Lower East Side of New York, where if you drive 4 blocks in any direction, all you see is lighting stores. They only sell fixtures.
Did I tell you my lighting store story? Did I say the lighting store story on this podcast?
No, I don't think so.
All right, bro, check this out. So I was looking. So I got a studio in my house, right? I was looking for like a custom light, like say my name or whatever the case may be, right? So I go to this lighting store. I drive by it every single day. I go to the city. I see this lighting store. So I go in the lighting store. And it's just like mad boxes, right? Just a whole bunch of boxes. And then one wall, a very small wall, like no bigger than this wall here, had like 7 or 8 options of lights. And the dude was just sitting there, couldn't care less that I was in there, right? And he goes, and I go, do y'all have lights here? And he looks at me and he looks at the wall and he points at the wall. And I'm like, this is it. He's like, yeah, this is it. And I'm like, how the fuck y'all have a store? There's no way y'all sell lights here, dog. Like, and I just walked out because like this is definitely a drug house. Like, there's no fucking way.
I love it. Yeah, no, there's this entire district here in New York where it's just lighting stores everywhere. It's like how many chandeliers are people buying in New York? Because nobody here owns their own apartments. We're all renting from a landlord who's not trying to upgrade any features ever. I just don't know how all these places stay in business.
But when you do refinance, like let's say you're a landlord and you refinance homes, you can just say like this loan is to replace the lights and like upgrade certain things, and then you get a bigger loan, and then they just go to these places and just get wholesale lights. And they pocket the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
I
how
worked in
business gets done.
real estate finance one summer.
Damn, Billy's smart. Billy knows all the tricks of the trade on this.
Loans.
What other states can we talk about? Kentucky's a very confusing one. Very confusing indeed.
I would call them Southern.
They do have Southern tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
It's Appalachian though. It's not necessarily Southern. People conflate those often, but like West Virginia is certainly not the South. Kentucky's a lot more like West Virginia than it is Alabama.
What do you think about West Virginia?
West Virginia's Appalachia.
Correct.
Is the Appalachia a whole region though like that?
Yeah, Appalachia's different.
That's what I'm saying though, Arian. Like people think Appalachian is Southern. I think they're very distinct.
Are you talking geographically South?
Culturally and both.
Okay, so culturally they're absolutely South.
West Virginia?
West Virginia.
I think West Virginia, it's Appalachia, which is a little bit different. Appalachia is like the South's kind of shady cousin.
Yeah,
they have similar bloodlines. They share like similar tendencies, but they're just a little sketchier. There's always something going on with people from Appalachia.
I mean, Nick and KB are from West Virginia, and they're two of the, some may say, quirkiest individuals.
Yeah, they're not Southern.
No, they're not southern.
Wheeling, West Virginia is its own location. It's not the South. It's not Appalachia. Wheeling, West Virginia.
What is it?
It's a very, very strange place. They've got like a giant Buddhist temple there. They've got a little bit of everything going on.
Because Ohio borders West Virginia, and Ohio's the Midwest. So then, what is West Virginia to become? Because you're so close.
It's below the Mason-Dixie line as well. So
Right.
it's like that's why like geographically, I don't know, like culturally, we had this debate in college actually. But there's also two different cultures, right? There's just different Americas, right? So like black culture, like DC is not the South, but like geographically it is. You know what I'm saying? But like
Isn't
white culture, I don't say white culture, but like white folks in West Virginia like remind me of Southern culture.
Mm-hmm. DC is its own place.
Well,
and DC
it's not even a state.
DC has like 4 different cultures going on inside it all at the same time.
Yeah.
And there's the part that Arian's talking about. I feel like the black culture in DC, from what I've experienced, from what I've seen, is completely different from black culture that I've seen in other cities in America.
It's like north. I would consider like East Coast is what we call it, like New York City, that type of feel.
Yeah, they're very East Coast. It's very East Coast.
Well, there's
and then you have like all the Capitol Hill staffers, which have their own little hangout area in DC. Those are the biggest nerds in the world. I don't even consider them to be like part of. I can't give you a geographical location of the Capitol Hill staffer nerds. They're just
the largest
boring people.
urban sprawl, I think, is from DC up to Boston, and that's like considered like the largest metropolis in the world, being like population wise and how big it stretches. Let me find the exact words for it, but that could kind of sum up that sort of DC being almost northeast.
Are there
New York?
Are there people, and I'm not saying like from Maryland, outside Maryland or outside Virginia, are there people who like grew up in like downtown DC?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like an actual neighborhood filled with real families that grow up there and have lived there.
But I feel like
There are a lot of people that live in Washington D.C.
No. I know that. But like in my brain, it's like what you said, PFT. It's like all like Capitol Hill staffers that like moved there when they were like 23. Like but then like I feel like you hear about kids who grew up in New York and they grew up on like, you know, like the Upper East Side or whatever. Like I don't think you hear, at least I didn't. You probably did because you were from Northern Virginia. But like kids growing up inside of DC.
I was in DC this summer for we went to some Braves games, and one day we got lunch and I was at a different hotel than my friends. I was like, they had like the bird scooters you could ride around, and I was having a blast just riding those the whole weekend. I was like, I'm gonna ride this back. So I was going, and they had like on the app, if you go into a certain area in DC, it's like restricted where you can't ride them near the Capitol.
Yep.
And there was some event at the Capitol, so it was extended. So I had to go around the Capitol, like east of it. And I ended up in like 3 different neighborhoods. It looked like I was in, you could have told me you were in Nashville somewhere. Like I just ended up going through all these neighborhoods. It took me forever to get home. It was a horrible idea. But I went through like kids playing in the park and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah,
it was weird. It was like right next to the U.S. Capitol. It was crazy.
DC is a very cool city. It's a very underrated city to live in and to be around. And it gets a lot of shit because of all the politicians that happen to live there, all the lobbyists that happen to live there. It's kind of a bummer to see. But if you go to the right neighborhoods, DC's a lot of fun.
Those bird scooters are incredible. Don't trust the brakes on them. Never. Never trust the
I had
brakes.
a blast, dude. I wish we had those here.
I hurt myself really bad in Nashville. Really bad.
Northeast megalopolis.
Yeah. It's all one song in the Northeast. It's like it's DC all the way up to Boston, right?
Yep, and could even be said to go all the way up to Maine.
Well, Maine's really an add-in at the end there.
95. Yeah, it's like some people like you could even extend it to Portland and Harrisburg to the west and down even to Norfolk, Virginia.
And then
that's pretty
Charlotte.
crazy.
I was gonna say just Atlanta, Miami too. Like
So I
just
guess
the whole thing.
Yeah.
The East Coast, basically.
Megalopolis.
It's a cool name for sure. The megalopolis.
It sounds like a dinosaur.
It does.
Yeah. Where do you live? The megalopolis.
Billy, before we get into today's topic, I was wondering if you could kind of educate us on the chart that you've been posting a lot, because it's making my brain hurt trying to figure out and parse together what this 3-dimensional chart of lizards, frogs,
It's not
snakes.
for you.
What do you mean?
It's not. You're not the target demographic of that post.
You keep posting it.
Well, there's a highly intellectual part of Twitter where we have debates using three-dimensional charts.
Yeah.
No such subject of Twitter.
By the way, we figured out on yesterday's part of my take that Billy, he's not a reply guy, he's a reply guy. So he observes all the reply guys, and then he uses all the reply guys out there to come to a conclusion of whatever scientific fact he's trying to, research or uncover at that point. He use them as primary sources.
Hey, look, it's. Have you ever heard? What is it called? What is that term? I forget the term. I may have mentioned it before, but it's a term where like one ant, right, is not highly intelligent, but like the conglomeration of ants, they do pretty intelligible things. Mm-hmm. There's an experiment they ran with gumballs. I think it was gumballs or jelly beans or something like that, where they had people guess how many jelly beans was in this big can, right? And like individually, it's like either wildly low or wildly high, but then you average everybody's answers out, and it's very close to the actual number. I forget that there's a term for it.
Groupthink?
No, it's an actual term, but it's like conglomerative effort thinking. Like you can kind of gauge how accurate it is to like together. I'm gonna find the term. Hold on.
Yeah, I think it's different from groupthink, because groupthink implies that other people's guesses would have an impact on what you're guessing. But this is like you're just asking people independently. And if you average out what their guess is, it's usually pretty accurate.
I'm an internet anthropologist.
A reply guy. Yeah.
So I look down the replies. I see how people communicate their different beliefs and whatnot, and different ways of talking to each other. And
you're describing right now how PFT commenter became a thing.
Oh, so you're also an internet anthropologist.
Yeah, like I studied comment sections.
No, it's very interesting.
There's more that unites us than divides us, Billy. You and I, we're not so different.
I mean, speaking of reply guys, you both replied to a very interesting tweet that Arian put out today.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congrats,
to
Arian.
Arian Foster. We've talked a lot about Arian's many accomplishments in life, and I think none are more impressive than he finally got the invitation to join the Illuminati. So congratulations,
Yes.
Arian.
Appreciate that, guys. Yes. It's been a long road. I want to thank my mother first and foremost, shutting me out of the womb. But I was going through my emails this morning, and I went through the junk. I don't ever go through the junk mail for whatever reason. There's nothing in there for me. But today I opened it up, and there's a couple funny ones actually, dog. But the Illuminati one, I was like, yo, I gotta post this one. This one's hilarious.
So who was the email from? Was the email address like at theilluminati.com?
Yeah, let me see.
Did they say what you did to get in?
Nah, it was just hold on, let me find. Okay, the guy's name is Robert Schultz, and the email is robert.schultz@education.lu. And he doesn't really go into why I got chose, but among the many grammatical errors, he is just kind of says, yo, this is for you. You got to do this. Greetings from the Illuminati World Elite Empire, bringing the poor, the needy, and the talented to limelight of fame, riches, powers, and security. Hella run-on sentence. Get recognized in your business, political race, rise to the top of whatever you do, be protected spiritually and physically. That was all one sentence. All these you will achieve in a twinkle of an eye when you get initiated into the great Illuminati Empire. This sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Once you are initiated to the Illuminati Empire, you will get numerous benefits and reward. Note that this email message was curated solely for the purpose of our recruitment scheme, which why would they need to include
scheme?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not going to read it anymore. That's hilarious. Oh, wait, hold on. This last thing. Do you agree to be a member of the Illuminati Order? If yes, then kindly reply to us back in our direct recruitment email only at illuminatiinvitation66@gmail.com.
They put the mark of the beast on there.
100%. Why only 2 6s though? Shouldn't they do 3?
It was taken. It was Gmail. Somebody got to it first.
Bezos.
Gotcha.
so I was looking at a lot of the Travis Scott discourse recently.
Talk to us, Billy.
Uh-oh.
No, but so there's all these TikToks and whatnot. I was looking at the dark part of the web. Speaking of the Illuminati, there are people who actually think that Travis Scott was trying to sacrifice people.
Do they actually think that, or do they just like shit posting? Because people enjoy just lying on the internet for fun.
I saw this TikTok. I'm not giving any credence, but we're talking about replies, like weird
We're
parts.
talking
of
about ideas, huh?
ideas, not, but like basically, those cameras at the NFL that go on the cables,
Skycam.
the sky cams. Well, at the concert, one of those sky cams was over the stage, and everyone was taking pictures of it and saying it was an angel of death that was lurking over the crowd. Yeah, really weird. Just one of those weird things you see on the internet.
Fun.
Yeah,
It's not. It's just wrong.
it's just wrong.
It's not weird.
We're talking about the Illuminati. They're basically saying that Travis Scott, like, sack was,
What would be? How do you think? Like, what would be the thing that tipped you off that it was really the Illuminati trying to contact you?
Probably
Because clearly
the
an email with a lot of grammatical errors and saying, "Hey, reply to our scheme," probably isn't the one. So would you need to be like kidnapped in a van? What would truly have to be like, oh, this could be legit?
like a super
think they would
A-list
have to-
celebrity.
I think they would have to like break into several of my passcodes or something like that, and like show me that you really are with the shits. You know what I mean? Like threaten my life in a good way somehow. Like they kidnap somebody that I love, right? And be like, yo, we can do this. And I'm be like, okay, I'm in.
Counterpoint. Someone who you know and trust comes out to you and says like, hey, I'm part of the Illuminati, like we would like you to join, but like you never knew this about this person and you spent a lot of time with them.
It'd have to be somebody that I really, really trusted.
Yeah.
It'd have to be like Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
She was like, hey, PFT, just bite the head off this snake. I'd be like, yes, ma'am.
Is that like your go-to? Like Miley's the one for you?
I think she's a wonderful lady. I respect her art and everything that she's done. I'm just using her to get closer to Billy Ray. I'm a massive Billy Ray Cyrus fan. I had his cassette tape when I was a little kid.
Oh God.
Yeah. Great artist, great musician. What's that, Billy? What's that look for?
No, I'm just trying to think.
Uh-oh.
I found out the term. It's called emergence. So like when things have emergent properties, like birds like flocking together and fly, like it's an emergent property, shit like that.
Oh, when they all seem to turn at the same time. Yeah, and you have to wonder, is there one bird up there that's deciding, or are they just vibing off each other? It turns out they just all kind of feel the same way for the most part, right?
I don't know enough about birds, but I was just describing the phenomena that is. They call it like emergent property. So like the gumball thing, that's an emergent property. People like just whatever.
Got it.
In solidarity are going the same way. I need to find out what that is.
So the people posting about Travis Scott right now, we can safely say that like most of them don't believe that he's the devil.
No, I'm just saying it's crazy how people stipulate so crazy stuff from that. Like how the whole Illuminati thing's ridiculous, and that it's really a Skycam camera.
Yeah,
not an angel of death.
Seeing those videos though of his stage, and it was the festival stage, the background where all of the projection was shaped as a mountain range, and so it looked like mountains were behind him, mountain or hill, we're not really sure, and then all of a sudden his set comes on and everything turns into like raging pits of hell fire. It was insane. Sahar, the one who talked to water, was there.
No way.
Yeah, she was like, it was the most insane thing I've ever seen.
Dude,
and
that seems terrifying.
Yeah, I don't know how you like recover from something like that.
It can't be the first time somebody's died in mosh pits, right?
No.
That's But 8 people.
Yeah.
No, there was like how many people died at Woodstock '99?
Yeah, more
I think
than
it was 3 or 6 or 6. It wasn't that much. It wasn't 8.
mosh pits they're scary places though. I don't know if.
Oh, I don't know. That was the regular Woodstock, not Woodstock '99. I don't know about Woodstock '99.
Woodstock '99.
Yeah. If you guys have ever been to a big music festival, when a mosh pit breaks out, it's actually not fun at all. It's kind of terrifying.
8 fans died at Woodstock '99 too.
Yeah, especially if it's in the summertime, if it's hot outside.
Damn.
Those places, it's bad, man. It'll get real scary real fast. And then once a crowd is all moving at once, then the herd mentality takes over a little bit. People fall down.
That Men in Black quote. That Men in Black quote is the greatest quote. One of the greatest quotes of all time.
Yeah, people, they fall down. If they don't get picked up immediately, people just don't realize that they're walking over other humans. People get trampled. It's scary shit. It is.
I find it hard to believe you don't notice the the ground has changed.
Yeah.
Elevation. Stepping on it.
If you have like a little bit of self-awareness, you should be able to figure that one out.
That's why I stay away from like large crowds though. Like I don't like going to games and stuff like that. For that reason, I'll go to like basketball games or something. But it's just rare. I won't go out to like large crowds just because people are fucking dumb. Like, and I can't be around a lot of people.
There's also, I always get so happy when I see certain names trend online because I like to think a pretty good job of not filling my brain with anything about these people that so many other people tend to care about. And Arian, you strike me as somebody that knows about Barry Weiss. Do you know about Barry and her ideas festivals that she's constantly having?
I do not know who Barry Weiss is.
Okay, good. So I've done a very good job of avoiding any discussion about who she is because as far as I can tell, she just exists to get people upset that she exists. And then people make her more famous by complaining about the fact that people care about her. I think she used to write for the New York Times. I think that's where she came from. But she's
like an editor there.
Yeah, was she an editor there?
I believe so, yeah.
All right, yeah. So it's one of these like Northeast media things that everybody that's in the media industry knows who she is. So they talk about her a lot. She's starting her own university in Austin, Texas, which is like an escape for those who feel persecuted by,
they want to reinvent higher education.
Yeah, they think that there's too much there's too many things that you can't talk about, that you're not allowed to talk about if you're in higher education. They're in the search for truth there, which I think most colleges would probably agree that that's the purpose of college. But this place, she says, is going to be different. And now everybody's dunking on her for her new fake university. And I just get so happy when I see people get mad at her because I'm like, I am so lucky to not know or care who this person is.
Did you click on the website?
Nope, I haven't clicked on it. So I see her name trending, and I'm like, oh, it's another one of those days on Twitter.
When you go to the website, they have a kind of an FAQ section, and in big letters it says, "Do you offer degrees?" And the thing simply says, "We do not confer degrees at the moment."
Okay.
So there's a couple.
We should start our own school.
There's some. So a lot of the Bishop Sycamore players ended up at this fake college in Texas that was called like RPS University, and it didn't stand for anything. It was just random letters, and they gave like accredited courses on stuff like, physical therapy, not physical therapy, but just basically train people to be trainers or coaches. And they gave accreditations, and it was like a totally made up school, but they'd play other made up JUCOs kind of in Texas. And it's very easy to make a school.
Yeah, Kanye West has a school. Did we know that? Donda Academy? Yeah.
I think that's at least like 10% a real school. Like they have teachers, I think.
Donda Academy.
Yeah, they a TikTok came up on my For You page about his really, really good basketball team.
They got a couple 5 stars to go there.
Do they?
Yeah.
Surprise me.
No, yeah.
Donda.world. That's a sick URL. Donda Academy, finding the intersection between faith and the innovation of the future.
Can we make a school?
Yeah, we should.
Do we want it to be an academy or a university? Like a high school or college?
Dose Academy.
Bar school sports.
Oh, shit.
Terrible.
So I'm reading up this little the University of Austin thing.
Mm-hmm.
They said, why Austin? If it's good enough for Elon Musk and Joe Rogan, it's good enough for us.
Sure.
What the fuck?
We had to have a quick podcast debate because I put out a poll about our nanodosing, and it seems like there needs to be a change in the name.
Were they calling it Snackrodosing?
Snackrodosing won the poll.
Well, what was the actual percentage?
49% to 44%.
Oh, damn, that's close.
That's close, though. Matter of fact, run it again.
Think we should run it back? Another poll?
I think audit the vote.
Yeah.
There are allegations of vote switching.
We're still waiting in on the mail-ins, so
Okay.
Mm.
Wait, what got I'm not a math guy, but
Mini dosing.
mini dosing. No one liked mini dosing, huh?
no. There were some good comments.
People are also saying microdosing should be an option, which is dumb.
That's not even a word.
That's a dumb. Who would do that? Block them.
Yeah, get them out of here.
Lil dosing was one with an apostrophe.
I'm a hard veto that one. That's gonna be a nod, dog.
I would almost prefer like little macro.
Little macro.
Little dose.
Dosey dosing.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to. We should run it back now that we have the final two options. It's like now it's a runoff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Well, you guys want to talk about Sir Isaac Newton?
I'm really excited for this episode.
Sir Isaac Newton, please let's remember that he's a knight.
Sir.
Is he a knight?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's a knight of the British Empire who were kind of frauds, but we've talked about the Brits enough on this show. And maybe the first incel, the first public incel, right? That's what he should be known
He
for.
could be a Volcel
Was he a Volcel?
voluntarily.
You think he was a Volcel?
I don't think he was.
I think he was gay.
He did live with his best friend.
He lived with a dude for 20 plus years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they just did equations all day. Like I'm an
married to the
ally. Let me
game.
put that out. There's nothing wrong with being gay, but
Yeah.
I don't see it, man. I just don't see it.
I think there's a good chance he was also a psychopath. Like a
agree with that, too.
legitimate psycho, maybe a sociopath. So when he was young, his mom got married and brought in his stepdad. He didn't like his stepdad. He resented his mom for dating this new guy, and he would fantasize about trying to burn down their house while they were in it all the time.
Yeah.
It was like a common thing that he thought about.
Mm-hmm.
So he showed some glimpses of maybe pyromania, maybe some violent ideations, some arson in his mind. His mom's name was. What was his mom's name?
His
Stepdad's
mother-
name was Barnabas,
Yes.
which it seems like I could see wanting to burn down Barnabas's house. Barnabas is just a shady name, I think.
That's a silly name, man.
Yeah. So as a teen, he made a list of all of his past sins, and among them was threatening my mother and father Smith to burn them and the house over them. So
So you can just think about it. He said this shit. He said, "I'll burn this motherfucker down."
yeah, so he actually made threats.
His father was a farmer, and his mother, after his father died 3 months before his birth, then basically left him with the grandparents and went to live with this new guy in the city, and he was kept in the farmlands.
Mm-hmm. So his mom found a guy that rocked her world and was like, "I'm leaving Isaac behind, that little weirdo in his experiments. He can continue to do that. Meanwhile, I'm going to be getting dick down in London." And so then he grew up resenting his mom and her choices. That to me sounds like it's a pretty cut and dry case.
Fucking origin stories to the Joker, my G. Goddamn.
Yeah, and it said in the sheet that Billy sent over that he had no hobbies. I disagree that Isaac Newton had no hobbies, because it sounds to me like his entire life was just various hobbies. He was just constantly doing hobbies. Even when he was a kid, he was making kites out of torches and candles and flying them above the city, and people would complain and say, "Hey, I think that there's a comet about to crash into our city." He was just doing experiments all the time. He was obsessed with his hobbies.
Now,
That little weirdo in his experiment.
Isaac's mother was a 2-time widow. And one of the reasons why Isaac didn't become a farmer like his father.
Wait, you say it like 2 times, like it was an award or
Back to
something.
back. Reigning widow.
Reigning widow.
And Isaac's old headmaster started dating his mom, and that's how he ended up going back into school. So, and that's why he returned to school. So we would have not had gravity if it wasn't for Isaac's mother.
We would still have gravity.
We would not have calculus, gravity.
This is a big misconception about Isaac Newton growing up, because the way that we're taught about Isaac Newton is in the most reductive form. It's like Isaac Newton one day was sitting under a tree, and an apple fell on his head, and he invented gravity. It's like there was no.
The story was cat, by the way. The apple story most likely did not happen.
Yeah. So what do you know about the apple story?
I don't know. And I know enough about it from like the scholarly research that has been done on him. Like all like the people who researched him, they're like that probably didn't happen. But I don't know enough about the story.
I think we can say for sure though that Isaac Newton definitely had a stick up his ass. He was kind of a lame guy. Like not a lot of fun to hang out with. I'm not saying it's a total indictment on him because he was obviously brilliant, and the way that his mind worked and the stuff he discovered was incredible, especially for its time. But he also just hated anybody having fun. He like detested when people would go out and party, or if people would get together and talk about things outside of a scholarly pursuit. He just hated downtime. He was like a very, very serious dude. Seemed like he had a grudge out against everybody.
A lot of people talk shit about his works because they're like, back then because all this math is really just discovered. Like the whole concept behind calculus was because gravity causes a constant change when something's in the midair. So like that sort of idea to be described in math was sort of easy to invent if you had the opportunity. I was on this really weird part of Reddit with a bunch of like mathematicians who are just like talking shit about Isaac Newton, being like, yeah, man, if there's something we could discover today, any of us could be Isaac Newton. All he did was like no one else thought of it before, but he just described it for the first time.
Kind of like
that's the biggest cover hater rate I've ever.
Yeah, so I'm just like,
what the fuck?
I'm just sitting, I'm looking at all these dudes who are just mad that they can't do any Isaac Newton type shit.
But that sounds like a whole bunch of Isaac Newtons.
Yeah, it's a bunch of Isaac Newtons.
It's a lot easier to study Isaac Newton than it is to be Isaac Newton.
Yeah, and
to like come up with all this shit. It's like kind of Sun Tzu, Art of War. He was the first person to write the stuff down. No. This Isaac Newton was a legit fucking genius. Like we throw that term around a lot nowadays. This dude was a fucking genius. Like brilliant. If we see another Isaac Newton, it will be world like transformative. Like our lives would change. This dude has done so much for science. So Sun Tzu, he wrote some shit down that was like, yeah, that's what's up. But Isaac Newton, this dude was fucking brilliant. Like an asshole, but fucking brilliant.
Isaac Newton also died of kidney stones.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Damn.
Why did you have to put that in there?
What?
No, PFT, you're stronger than
Stand
Isaac
right
Newton.
out.
I'm just stating facts.
Billy wants to take my job so bad.
I don't.
He fantasizes every single day about me dying. Kidney stones.
What's like? I was gonna say like regicides when you kill the king. Like, what's the podcast host version of that aside?
Rogicide. Yeah,
No.
fuck you, Billy.
No, it's just one
how
of the
small
fun
was
facts.
his dick that he got killed by kidney stones?
No, dude.
Like a kidney
Hey.
stone shredded
It's a
up
great
his
spin
urethra.
zone.
What?
It's a great spin zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. My dick way bigger than Isaac Newton's penis. Fact.
Well, actually, no one knows.
He got killed by a kidney stone.
His roommate knows.
Yeah, his roommate doesn't.
Also, Isaac Newton was one of the first crypto bros, in my opinion.
I gotta
Agreed.
Go ahead, bro.
Agreed.
You know what I'm talking about?
Nope, but I agree.
Yeah, no, Isaac. So let me tell you. So Isaac Newton got involved in the South Sea bubble, which was like in the day, there was this new company and basically they're selling for the first time, like the idea of like a very small share in a company that would pay interest and dividends.
Mhm.
So he basically invested a shit ton of money in this South Sea company and it just all collapsed. It was all speculation. And just him and all of his buddies who invested in it just got killed.
So he got grifted.
Yeah.
He got grifted out of his money.
Yeah. So the British government had a large backlog of unpaid bills, largely from contractors supplying the British military during the War of Spanish Succession. The government offered its creditors South Sea stock, a product similar to shares in a modern corporation. The stock did not promise full repayment of the money creditors were owed, but it did promise them regular payments of interest. The South Sea Company received the funds from the government to pay off the interest to the creditors, and basically it was, kaput. So he was really pissed off about this,
Mm-hmm.
and he lost the equivalent of 20,000 pounds in his day, which translates to
That seems like a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because that was what year?
like
1600s. Something.
1600s. Yeah, that's a lot of money. So, the Black Death played a pretty big part in Isaac Newton's career. I guess you could call it a career in his life. You know, we always talk about how the different plagues affected Shakespeare, and if it wasn't for the Black Plague, we wouldn't have gotten Macbeth, or I forget what the other one was. But he wrote a bunch of his more famous plays, or stole a bunch of his more famous plays during that time period. Turns out that the Black Death actually helped Isaac Newton figure out what gravity was and how to quantify it. So he had to come home from his overseas studies, and when he got home, he was trying to avoid the Black Death. He was spending a lot of time in his garden. The apple story might be cap, as Arian put it, but he did observe apples falling and then would time how long they took to fall from a certain location, where he started to kind of unwind the principles of gravity and figure out that things falling from the sky, they fall at the same rate no matter how much they weigh. And that rate, he figured out that it was an accelerated rate, where I forget what the exact formula is, but it something like doubles every 40 feet or whatever it is.
it's mass time acceleration.
Force equals mass times acceleration.
And it's 10 meters per second.
10 meters per second per second.
Squared.
Yes, 10 meters per second per second. And so he was back at his home, I think in Cambridge?
Mm-hmm.
He was in Cambridge, and he figured out that if you that you can actually quantify how gravity acts on things. And that kind of set the tone for a bunch of other different experiments and things that he learned.
So they claim to know the apple tree that was used, and in 2010, a NASA astronaut carried a piece of the ancient apple tree to board the space shuttle Atlantis for a mission to the International Space Station.
That seems a little extra.
Yeah.
Like you just grab an apple branch and say, hey, yeah, this is the one.
Hey, but if it wasn't for Isaac Newton checking out them apples, we wouldn't have the NASA space
They
station.
still use his equations like to send rockets up and shit.
Yeah.
And satellite. They still use his equations are still. That's wild as fuck.
Yeah.
He was born in 1600, bro.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It
Him
is.
and I have the same birthday.
Oh, congratulations. Christmas Day. Wait.
No,
you were-
January
yeah,
4th.
No, I thought he was born on Christmas. Or is it?
Why does
Maybe
it say
died on
January
Christmas.
4th?
Newton was born prematurely on Christmas Day, according to Billy.
It says on here January 4th.
This is according to Billy's fact sheet.
Whoa.
Wikipedia says Christmas, but
Yeah, from my because every fucking
So now we know what
every Christmas your boy Neil deGrasse Tyson tweets out happy birthday to Isaac Newton to piss off Christians.
the History Channel does say January 4th. So
This
Wait
is
a
weird.
second.
This is
Are we
weird.
the
No,
first
Billy could be right and wrong. It says Sir Isaac Newton was born premature and had a little to no chance of survival. It was a Christmas morning. But then the second fact said he was born on January 4th,
Okay,
they moved
1643.
Christmas though. Christmas got moved at some point.
Really?
Wait,
Yeah.
Wait, is this
Whoa.
like Three Kings Day type shit? Do you know that there's a holiday that people celebrate called Three Kings Day, and that's when they get gifts? It's a whole nother holiday.
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
So technically, I was born on Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, Avery, can you put a reminder in the calendar on December 25th when Neil deGrasse Tyson tweets out, "Happy birthday to one of the most important figures in the history of the world." Record scratch. Sir Isaac Newton. I want you to remind me to then quote tweet dunk on Neil deGrasse Tyson and be like, "Hey bitch, guess what? He was actually born January 4th. Do some fucking research, dummy."
Okay, you called me Avery,
Oh
but
my
I'm gonna
god,
let it slide.
this is crazy. So you just Google it. When was Christmas in 1642? And they're saying December 25th.
What's going on here?
Okay, so
I don't like this.
Did I call you Avery?
yeah, you
This
did.
is-
But
this is
I'm gonna.
tough.
But you were pointing at me, so I figured you were
Yeah,
talking.
my
to me.
bad.
You're good. PFT quote tweets.
Wait,
So now I'm on Britannica.com, and it says born December 25th, 1642, parentheses, January 4th, 1643, new style. What is new style?
Let's just put it up to a poll on our Twitter account. When was Isaac Newton born? December 25th or January 4th? We'll go whatever the result of that poll says.
And so then it says died March 20th, parentheses, March 31st. At some point, did we just gain 11
Change the
days
calendar?
somewhere?
No, this has to do with Oliver Cromwell, War of the Roses. He banned Christmas. Okay, we'll figure this out. Here at Macrodosing, you're seeing a live little mystery getting solved.
Mm-hmm.
Macrodosing.
So from 1656, legislation was enacted to ensure that every Sunday was stringently observed as a holy day, the Lord's Day. By contrast, shops and markets were told to stay open on 25th of December. In the city of London, soldiers were ordered to patrol the streets, seizing any food they discovered being prepared for Christmas celebrations. Wait. So...
Wait, I think I found it. When Newton was born, Europe was still following the Julian calendar system introduced by Julius Caesar in 45 BC. A solar year, the actual length of time it takes Earth to orbit the sun, less marks for 365 days. Yada. Typical year. The Julian system accounts for the fractional leftover by declaring a leap day every 4 years. Over time, the seemingly minuscule difference added up, leaving a 10-day discrepancy between the Julian calendar and the solar year. Pope Gregory the 13th wanted to fix this. He appointed a commission to look into the problem. In 1582, the Pope introduced a new calendar system based on the commission's recommendations. The revised system follows the Julian's calendar leap day system, but skips centennial years that aren't divisible by 400. So somewhere there was 10 days that weren't accounted for. So he was actually born, I believe, on December 25th, but it was counted as January 4th.
It sounds to me like he got to college and he was sick that he couldn't legally go out and buy beer. So this motherfucker sat down and figured out that actually the measurement of time in human history was incorrect. and he's like, technically I'm 21. I believe my mathematical equation proves it. So yeah,
I just want to know what it would say on his driver's license. That's it.
So it's because it took England, they didn't adopt the new calendar system until 1752. And so because they didn't want a catastrophe with the calendar, historians decided to retroactively adjust all the years prior to 1752 to match the Gregorian system.
So I want to know what...
And so subsequently he was born on December 25th. But during his time, it was his January 4th.
No, I think it's the opposite.
Oh, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. Okay.
I think, I'm honestly not sure. This is confusing, but one or the other, yeah.
So he ended up teaching at Cambridge, and when he first went to school there, he was just pissed off that everybody else was going out having a good time. He's like, I can't believe that everybody is wasting all their time on all these activities that don't lead to the betterment of man. So he really thought a lot of himself, decided that he was going to be a lecturer there, and nobody would come to his lectures. He taught at Cambridge for 30 years, and even though maybe the smartest person to have ever existed in human history was the one giving those lectures, people just wouldn't show up. It's actually like kind of sad, I think. And it makes me think that whenever I'm walking down the street and there's, a violinist or somebody singing or playing an instrument, I always think that I'm on one of those like hidden camera things. It's like we have the world's best violin player just out in the streets in Times Square, and watch, nobody will pay attention. And I always think that like maybe I'm missing out on something that's like actually beautiful art taking place right in front of me. But it's actually sad to me that Isaac Newton was teaching there for so long, and then nobody would show up.
He's not marketable, right? His brand was not very good. So he was just like one of those smart people who probably detested the world because he was so smart and everybody was so dumb.
Sounds like an incel.
Mm-hmm.
He was Mike Trout.
Yeah,
smelled like Trout of physics.
He was kind of an incel. He was mad because nobody would give him the time of day, and he was that like rare case where he is actually as smart as he thinks that he is. Yeah. He is literally smarter than everybody else. Everyone's a fool. So when he's looking around and he's like, "You fools, you don't know. You're wasting your lives." Yeah, if you had Isaac Newton's brain, if we all had Isaac Newton's brain, this world would be vastly different right now.
Man, I don't know. That would be boring as fuck, but very accurate, I guess.
But do you think if Isaac had any, like, if his boys were as smart as he was, he would have had friends, or do you think he was that much more intelligent than everybody else, saw the world in a different way, that it just made him impossible to carry on a normal relationship or a conversation?
But he had colleagues. I mean, he wasn't like, so like, for example, like, this is weirdo shit, right? So there was a discrepancy in who invented calculus, right? What's his name? Some Lebens also professed to invent calculus as well, right? So he actually published first. So Isaac Newton was like posthumously, like he found out like he invented like the shit that he didn't like reveal until like 40 years later. So he was doing like this monumentous, like, world-changing shit that he didn't tell anybody about, like just weirdo shit, right? And so when dude invented calculus, or like published his paper on like the foundations of calculus, he wrote him a letter that had this like cryptic wording to it that had to do with calculus, and it's like nobody knew what he did but him. And it's like weirdo shit that like you understand somebody else is intellectual, but you trying to one up them with this cryptic, like just weirdo shit, though. Like I fully believe he was a psycho. Like, it's just brilliant though. Like
anybody that writes their own diary in a code to themselves is kind of strange. It's just bizarre behavior.
Yeah.
Another one is he didn't believe in the Holy Trinity. And that was like blasphemy back then. He probably would have lost his job and his position. So he didn't believe in it, and he didn't believe in it enough to. I mean, he didn't believe in his belief enough to like go out on a limb. He was just like, these people aren't ready for it, which is like that's how he thought. Like they were, and he wasn't wrong at all.
He might have been actually killed if he had gotten public with his beliefs about the Holy Trinity at the time. But it's weird because even though he was so brilliant and he had all these insane contributions to mathematics and to physics, he was also kind of a quack, at least towards the end. He became an alchemist and got obsessed with turning shit into gold. And
so I was crypto bro.
Yeah, he was a crypto bro.
So I was on the fence about that. So yeah, he got into alchemy for sure. For years he studied it. But I think it was just his early way of like low-key chemistry. He was just obsessed with finding truth in any way possible. And so like alchemy is a wild practice. It's like they try to find the philosopher's stone, which is like this elixir that prolongs life. And this is wild shit. But I don't think he got obsessed with that aspect of it. I think he got obsessed with like finding different minerals and finding different, stuff to combine and then to make something totally new. Like that's what, I mean, I could be wrong, but I just don't feel like he was obsessed with the philosopher's stone part of it. I think he was just obsessed with like the intrigue with the natural world and just the tireless study of it.
It was an intro into chemistry, in other words. And so like a lot of people that tried to study chemistry back then just started off with like a faulty premise, which is that you can, using different combinations of things, you can eventually turn anything into gold. But what they were actually doing was discovering how different materials interacted with each other. Which probably was interesting for him too. The Philosopher's Stone, though, I don't know. I was doing some reading about the Philosopher's Stone today. I feel like we need to get back searching for that thing, or at least make some movies about it.
I'm down with the movie.
Yeah, it's movies for sure, because nobody talks about the Philosopher's Stone these days. It's something that I feel like was hot a few hundred years ago, and now it's just it's fallen by the wayside. But the Philosopher's Stone is maybe you guys can explain it to me a little bit better than I know it. But it's just like the best material ever. That is a medicine that will cure for whatever ails you. It'll make you invincible. It's superfood. It is actually like a superfood, super medicine for anything that you need, right?
Basically. Yeah, I mean, you don't have it wrong. It's not real, but it's what they were trying to do.
It hasn't been discovered yet.
Real to me, damn it.
And how do you make the Philosopher's Stone?
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you that.
You get really, really high, probably.
So
if you're the highest individual, if you smoke more weed than anybody, you will. We should have a contest just to see who can get the highest on Earth. I know this has nothing to do with Isaac Newton specifically, but it'd be very, very funny to just like sit 5 guys in a room and just have them just smoke weed constantly, like every other breath you're taking a massive hit, and just see who can be the highest person in the world.
That would be fun. to watch. I would not want to partake. I'd be stuck.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
The Philosopher's Stone.
It's supposed to change, like they wanted to change like shitty iron into gold.
It's kind of like alchemy.
Yeah, that was the whole premise. They wanted to, but they're supposed to do all kind of weirdo shit. Like,
It wasn't supposed to be an actual stone though. They were supposed to like just pour it on top.
I think that was a part of the alchemy, from my understanding.
Yeah.
I think he actually wrote down some of the shit to do, and I think you can actually recreate what he did, and it was like purple, like some purple rock or something like that. That you actually you pour it into and you like cook it basically.
Yeah,
and
this
it turns into like this purple thing.
I think stone is just a word that they gave it. It could be a liquid.
Yeah.
It could be a fire. It's an element essentially.
I think we are able to do that nowadays at a very molecular level. I think
turn everything into gold?
Yeah, I think like on the periodic table of elements, like if you could somehow add a proton or a neutron, add a covalent bond, you could actually like turn.
Did we low-key solve alchemy?
Yeah, I think
I don't think so, man.
I think
This
that's
would've
like
made
nuclear
sense.
stuff.
Are you telling me that we can turn like a piece of wood into gold, Billy? I don't think that we can.
I like how Billy was like, yeah, we solved it using all that nuclear stuff. that we know.
Nuclear transmutation is a conversion of one chemical element or isotope into another chemical element. So yeah,
You can't just invent gold though.
this was literally the one thing I remember from like chemistry.
That you can just create gold.
Well, I think you can change one chemical element into another chemical element.
Yes.
I'm not a
Point
chemist.
what we're talking about.
I find it hard to believe that we can turn anything into gold.
Yeah.
A transmutation can be achieved either by nuclear reactions, in which an outside particle reacts with a nucleus, or radioactive decay, where no outside cause is needed.
I like that Billy has changed his mind and changed his like complete direction in life from studying cases of football possession to now studying cases of alchemy, and he's solved both of them. In a grand total of about 30 seconds of research spent on each one.
Arian, if you ever gave a ball to someone in the crowd, did the team ever fine you for it?
The league, well, it depends on how you do it. If you hand it to them, no, you're good. If you throw it in the stands, it's 5 racks.
Now, Arian, have you ever handed a fan a football and then they converted it into a bar of gold?
That I don't believe has happened. In my
I bet
lifetime.
they could sell it, and
No.
then buy gold.
No, but then the NFL could claim that that's their gold. And it's their property and
depends
demand
on
it back.
how many
Especially
nuclear
if it has that chip
isotopes.
in it.
Yes,
Well, yeah, they
that-
just don't want to get the lawyers involved. There's no need to do that.
Jeez. Elements heavier than iron, such as gold or lead, are created through elemental transmutations that occur naturally in supernova.
All right, so if you
Bruh.
can invent a star and then have that star explode in 50 million years, then you could get some gold out of it. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, I don't think they've done it, but it is hypothetically possible.
I don't think they've done it,
I'm
but-
unsure that that's the case, but
I don't know that you can say you've solved something with a hypothetical.
Okay.
hypothetically,
I'm looking this up.
yeah, you should do that. Actually,
No, but like the
What have you
actual
been doing?
the actual process.
How to alchemy.
Billy, this is the opposite of how you should research, by the way. You don't have a conclusion and then look for results. You should look for the results and then develop your conclusion.
No, but I'm just saying that it is possible to change.
You don't know that.
Yeah, it is in the supernova out in the fucking galaxy. It can
And we
happen.
are not supernovas.
Right. But we can't, but it can hypothetically happen.
Yes, gold does
You
come
can
from
simply
somewhere.
contain the power of the sun.
Fucking Thor
what
over
don't
here.
you understand here, Arian?
I'm not saying
We're not saying gold doesn't exist. That's not what we're saying. It definitely exists, for sure. But we're saying, can you change any element into gold right now? And you're saying it's possible. And I'm saying, I don't find that likely. I don't know enough about chemistry, dog, but I have not seen the evidence to convince me otherwise.
That would lead the news tonight.
fact or fiction, lead can be turned into gold. Particle accelerators make possible the ancient alchemist's dream, but at a steep cost. Like it's possible.
What's the cost?
Okay,
Billy?
let's
Read
look
the
at the,
rest.
for hundreds of years.
You just
alchemists-
read the headline.
It's in Scientific American.
The way Billy comes to his conclusions would make him a fantastic Democratic politician.
There you go. Here
Any.
he go.
Any of them.
Here he go.
I do like. I love Billy's optimism though, that he thinks that he can solve the process of turning any metal into gold. Something that
He's
Any problem. Any problem at all. He's like, yeah, we can do that.
No, I mean, they're like they.
millions of people over the course of thousands of years have like died trying to do what Billy thinks that he just accomplished in 10 seconds
I
using
didn't
DuckDuckGo.
accomplish it. Dude, more than 30 years ago, nuclear scientists at the Lawrence Berkeley
If you're gonna
National
say,
Laboratory.
can I
Yeah,
just say,
the
like,
guy-
can you pronounce it nuclear if you're going to talk about how to perform
nuclear.
You know who I
man.
trust on this stuff? The guy saying nuclear.
How do you say it?
Nuclear.
Nuclear. When I talk to myself about nuclear fission, I don't
fission.
I don't really have anyone correcting me. But yeah, they did. They produced very
When I
small.
talk to myself, I don't have anybody correcting me. Bro, what the
Put that on a t-shirt.
Okay. No, so like they have done it. They've created gold from bismuth,
Okay.
a metallic element adjacent to lead on the periodic table.
Okay.
The same
You're
process.
changing your argument mid.
The same process would work for lead,
Mm-hmm.
but isolating the gold at the end of the reaction would prove much more difficult.
So they haven't been
So
able to
no, but the
isolate
whole
gold
I'm
at the end
basically
of the
saying
day. They changed bismuth into lead.
no, they changed bismuth into gold. Basically, what I'm saying is Isaac Newton wanted to make gold out of shitty metal. Like that's the alchemist's dream. So they can like take shitty metal, which is cheap, and turn it into gold, which is expensive. They have done that.
But when that can't be like that, if that were to
I'm
have
unsure.
happened, like if that were to be
It
able
like
to
took
happen,
millions of dollars in a particle accelerator, but they have done it.
right? But if that would have happened, if that was a thing that could be easily accessible, then the whole point of gold would go away.
It sounds to me like you guys are all hating on Billy, and Billy's actually correct that they figured out a way to create gold out of nothing. Just a matter of making the process of creating gold,
Which is-
way less expensive over the course of the next 1,000 years.
I mean, it's not worth it.
then you're just
It's
just
more
snap your
expensive.
fingers and you get gold.
It's more expensive to make it than it is to.
yeah, than
buy
the
it.
gold you get out of it. But they can't do it. That's what I'm just saying. It's
Okay.
cool. They can't do it.
Could he do it? No.
No, Isaac Newton couldn't even.
No, he couldn't. He couldn't even get laid.
Dude, he could get. He's just trying to create gold.
So, still an allegedly.
I also like how we led this off with like, yeah, Newton had no hobbies. He was just in the back of his house trying to make gold out of like a spoon and shit.
Yeah.
I think
It's
he
the-
had some hobbies.
I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest.
exactly.
I know I sound so stupid when I'm saying like, yeah, they can make gold out of, but like there is a process where they took shitty metals.
Well, there was a
They made
well,
gold.
to be fair, there was a process where they took one very specific element and did it at a high cost. Arian asked you if they could take a piece of wood and turn it into gold, and you said yes.
I'm saying in mid art. This was actually
Okay,
quite
I
brilliant.
think
too.
no.
Mid argument, he changed his argument and
Correct.
convinced himself that he was arguing for.
But
the
I
topic.
never. You
That's
talked
fucking
about
impressive.
wood.
That is
Basically, the
impressive.
concept of
That was the-
alchemy.
Bro, the concept was not.
You said you could take any elements, rearrange them, and get gold.
No,
that was
no,
the
no,
original-
No. The original
what you
argument.
said.
That
was
is what you
alchemy.
said.
That was the original.
That is
was
what you
we-
said.
That's why I asked that question. I was like, I don't think that's possible. He's like, it is possible. I'm like,
Well, I
don't
didn't
think
know
that
the
is.
exact,
And you-
but I
and you
knew they
found
did
the
some
article.
shit.
I did.
Found
Go
the
ahead. Did y'all hear that?
Where some scientists
I didn't.
merged together.
I'm just talking. I'm just trying to prove the concept that like they were able to create gold out of something entirely
I
different.
didn't know
Billy,
the
you know what?
exacts, but I
Billy,
knew
it's-
they
it's-
did some
It's
shit.
real simple, Billy. I was wrong. Just say it's okay.
This is an all-time Billy episode.
No,
I'm crying. I'm honestly crying listening to Billy walk
Okay,
himself through
okay,
the last
okay,
5
okay.
minutes.
I will admit that I didn't answer your question, but in my own head, I was trying to show you guys that they had made gold out of something else.
Admit that they can't make gold out of anything. Admit that alchemy is not real.
He's not sure.
do
He's
it.
not sure.
The true essence of alchemy is real, but no one is being an alchemist.
Now he's a career alchemist. He knows the essence of alchemy. He knows.
Billy, internet anthropologist / alchemist.
It's real to me, goddammit.
I could see Billy just retiring, going off into the woods somewhere, just like melting mercury over an open flame for the next 20 years.
But like, there's no one melting mercury over an open flame, but there's a bunch of dudes in a freaking particle collider who are basically doing that.
Yeah.
They're not basically
They're doing
that.
things so much more important than trying to turn what did you call it? What element was it? Lead into gold?
Bismuth?
Like,
Bismuth.
yeah, they're doing way more important.
The amount
shit.
of gold produced was so
Particle
small.
colliders.
The amount of gold produced was so small that Morrissey and his colleagues had to identify it by measuring the radiation given off by the unstable gold nuclei as they decayed over the course
They
of
didn't
the
even
years.
know it was gold, Billy.
But I'm just saying they did it.
If you had bought that much gold at a jewelry store and worn it out in public, people would be like, "That is fake gold." Like,
Probably, yeah.
oh no, but if you just take out your radiation spectrometer, you'll see that this is clearly 14,000
I
carats.
know, but like, okay. If you told someone in like 1910, like, oh yeah, in
Talking about
the
what?
1960s, like would have gone to the moon, and they're like, oh man, we're gonna like be on the moon, like have cities and stuff, and they're gonna be like, no, we went there just for a little, then came back. It was about 30 minutes all in all,
Yeah, it's gonna beat.
and then they're kind of like, oh well, that's not actually going to the moon. That's what you guys sound like to me, talking about how
We're the
You're
ignorant.
just
Okay, good
You're
to
just
know.
living in fucking 2028, my nigga. You just,
It would make a lot of sense if Billy was actually from the future. If Billy was
Or
like,
1910, like
Yeah.
you just claimed. So either or.
Well, I mean, you guys seen the last guy to die in World War One?
yeah, it does look a lot like Billy. It's crazy actually how much it looks like.
I have not seen
Yeah,
this.
that's funny.
I have a
The
question.
last guy to die in World War One is Billy.
Like in real life, or
Yeah,
is it like a movie?
just Google the last guy to die in World War One. I'll give everybody at home listening right now 10 seconds to do this, and then just be prepared to be amazed.
If you got sent to the past right now, let's call it 1800, how would you prove you were from the future?
Kill baby Hitler.
That doesn't really prove anything.
I know.
also.
Just
That
I
was
would
about-
immediately get thrown in jail for killing a baby.
That's quite a bit before his birth.
I feel like you'd also be way too early.
Could I just show them my cell
Hitler
phone?
was born in like 1880, something like that.
You don't. You can't. You don't.
what's
have
the question?
anything. It's just you. I said if you got sent to 1800, how would you prove you were from the future?
I'd dunk a basketball.
You can't do that now.
Where's the basketball? Where did you find it?
You'd also fail. It'd be like he's gonna White Man Can't Jump scene with Wesley Snipes, and he's just over and over. He's just getting rim rock. That
Well,
would be-
they don't know what
look up from the
regulation
future
is. They don't
and
know
get
what
your shit
regulation
stuffed.
They don't know what basketball is. I don't know. They'd just be like, all right, that guy can kind of jump.
That's a really good question, though.
I would actually like to apologize to people at home
And
and try to.
And I'm not allowed to bring any device.
yeah,
with me?
yeah.
It's-
Like you can't just whip out a cell phone and be like, "Oh, this is a thing that like it's just you."
Well, what year is it?
Let's call it 1800.
Well, I would have to fend off many white people. But,
I was gonna say, yeah, Arian
Okay.
walking around by himself would be a pretty big.
You can be
Indicator.
anywhere in the world you want.
I mean, honestly, probably talking the way we talk now as compared
I'll probably just joke the
many
shit
years
out of
ago.
everybody. Like y'all don't know nothing about this.
I would do like a bunch of
Clown them to death.
like small experiments, like you know that one.
Mean.
Of course.
You know that one where they take the
lead and turn it into gold.
No, there's gold there. Trust me.
like you know like,
You just haven't invented a machine that's small enough to observe that there's gold there.
no, but like you know those like science classroom experiments, like mixing baking soda and vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah. Or,
Did
or
you
what
do
is it,
the volcano
water-
experiment?
Watch this shit, y'all.
they're like what?
Not from this time. Watch this.
I've got two 2 liters and a screw in the middle. Look at this fucking world.
Do you guys have Coke and Mentos?
You're like, this guy's a god.
I start like burning random stuff that burns different colors. You ever do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rubbing, like if you take rubbing alcohol and then you mix like baking soda and burn it, I think it burns blue.
Billy would conduct a middle school science class.
Yeah, I do middle
to
school
prove
science.
that he was from the future.
I would
I
light
can't
up.
imagine how difficult it would be to get those things in 1810. Like where would you get those things?
I would light up a
That'd be
light
hard.
bulb with a potato. Yeah, I'd use a
Do they have light
potato
bulbs?
to power light. You can make your own light bulb because they had glass. You can get the
They
filament.
didn't have light bulbs back then.
Yeah, but they have the materials that went into a light bulb. You could invent the light bulb, I think.
Do you know how to put that together?
It's simple. You get a glass bulb.
Uh-huh.
You get 2 filaments.
Yeah, what-
3 filaments.
What kind of film? What is?
I go to the filament store and I simply say,
Right.
"Can I have 3 filaments?" And then you run wires to the ends of the filaments, and then you plug those wires into the potato, and then boom, you got a light.
Go to the filament store, say.
Yeah.
Can I have filaments,
3 of
please?
your finest filaments, please.
I think you can
Sir?
figure out how to make a light bulb. I really do.
It's the type of metal you need.
What if he did like a crazy dance move? Like if he did a moonwalk, they'd be like, "Holy shit, this
Yeah.
guy!"
Or just
that would actually be a really tough thing to prove. Other than I would probably read up on the history events that are about to happen and just kind of say, this shit about to happen. That shit
Predict
about
the
to
Calling the
future?
shots. Yeah.
happen. Yeah, like
all you do is you seduce one woman, and you eat ass, and she's like, "What? What? You'll never believe what this guy did. I've never even heard of that before."
Bro, you're a little late. Romans.
The Romans ate ass?
Yeah, dude, Pompeii was just filled with. You ever hear about Pompeii? Pompeii was like,
I think that Billy's basing this off of like the murals of the orgies.
dude, have
Or
you
the
s-
jacking
do you know
off
that
guy?
Pompeii was like literally like the most like Sodom and Gomorrah type place.
Yeah, they had
Before.
orgies.
He was
Yeah.
about to say like the most wicked place ever. Then he remembered literally the most wicked place. He was like, "Well, it's like
Right.
that."
Yeah.
No, I'm saying it's like Pompeii was like well known for being like a depraved.
Yeah, they were
Yes.
fucking
I don't know. I feel like in America, at least in the 1800s, nobody ate ass.
correct. I think that's probably pretty fair.
rightfully so. Though, was the theory of German disease available yet? Did they have soap like that? When did that? When did they?
Yeah,
get
you would get mad pink eye from that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I would either prove them from the future or just not from there by like, I'm immune to so many things that they aren't. I'm probably carrying them, and I just start killing people by breathing near them,
Yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
I
which
also
is kind of what they were doing anyways.
I have a
at the time.
take. I might not want to prove I was from the future. I might just like invent baseball and ride off that for a while and just be the guy who invented baseball. I feel like that'd be a pretty good life.
That's 100% Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth
That's
definitely.
the-
invented-
That's the plot to Hot Tub Time Machine. One dude stays back, and then it's like Lugu, and y'all remember Hot Tub Time Machine?
Oh yeah, I remember the movie. I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, he stays back, and he invents. It's not Google anymore; it's Lugu, and like, he's like this multi-billionaire because he does all this shit. Yeah,
I also think me wearing pants would be a culture shock to them.
There were no trousers. Women didn't wear trousers.
Women actually wore pants before men,
What?
like
Really?
back in the Roman days.
That
I'm pretty
doesn't
sure.
Okay, but we're
sound
in
right.
1800s.
No,
so.
Yeah, imagine this: 1800s. What part of the world are we talking about? America.
Yeah,
Sure.
America. Like I'm thinking like Little Women. They're wearing dresses.
I don't. It's a good question though. How you would prove that you were from the future using only
Like if I went back
Your
in
brain.
if I went back
Like,
in this
yeah.
outfit and I'm wearing jeans and sneakers.
I feel the outfits have to be.
Ooh,
You
a
can't
fucking
be possibly.
a paper airplane, bruh. Make a paper airplane and fly that shit.
Oh.
smart. Yep. Yeah, you could prove the principles of flight.
I bet we would be taller than a lot of them.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Goliath was only supposed to be like 6'4", 6'5".
This guy with these fucking facts.
Billy just draws a frog.
Billy goes and tells them all about NFTs.
Could I do this?
Just watch. I might drop these NFTs and get a bag.
Yo, time out. I am so I'm out the loop with this NFT shit. Are they just pictures that people are buying?
Yeah. Original.
You gotta be shitting me.
No, you nailed it. You
they're
nailed it.
Non-fungible tokens.
Yeah, it's like a picture you could hold, but you can't.
Do you want to buy one?
It's a little bit different than that. So
There's gotta be something else to it, niggas. It's not just buying screenshots out here.
yes, they're pictures, but think of them as like trading cards. So they're minted and they're certified. And so you know that if you buy this one in particular and it belongs to you, it's one of 10 or one of 20. So they actually quantify how many of these things are being made. But yeah, at the end of the day, you're just buying pictures.
Oh my god.
It's
Somebody-
also money
That's the
laundering.
stupidest shit I've ever heard.
But you
You're
could
literally
also
just-
go on any computer and pull it up and be like, I own that.
you doing it just for like
You
clout
could
in the
go on any
circle?
computer right now and lie and say you own it.
It's right that it's definitely being used for money laundering right now. So you can sell somebody an NFT. They pay you $50,000 for this NFT. You have the documented transaction right there. And then, oh yeah, they're also going to give you a shitload of cocaine as a gift because you bought that NFT from them. So it's like a way of conducting some of these transactions.
Tyler's.
People are spending $50,000 on it.
Oh, more than that, yeah. But the ones that are really, really expensive
Millions.
are always being bought by
Yo.
people that own an NFT company. You know?
Yo, I'm Isaac Newton right now, bro. Stay inside. This motherfucker's dumb.
Should I drop some NFTs and just see what happens?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's ask the Tennessee boys.
Yeah, Tennessee boys are here.
Oh,
All
nice.
right. Let's go. All right, we've got Hendon Hooker from the University of Tennessee, and we have Tyler Barron from the University of Tennessee, fresh off their 45-42 win against the University of Kentucky. They're going to be joining us today, courtesy of our great friends at Mugsy Jeans. Mugsy's are the most comfortable men's jeans on the planet. If I'm wearing jeans, I'm wearing Mugsy's. They're the only pair of jeans that I own, the only brand of jeans that I own. I think I've got like 5 or 6 pairs, and I'm telling you, they're super comfortable. Doesn't feel like you're wearing jeans. It feels like you're wearing sweatpants, but they look like awesome, stylish jeans. They're great, comfortable, stylish denim. They're the most comfortable men's jeans on the planet. They've got a stretch denim. The jeans look stylish, but they feel like you're wearing sweatpants. A lot of people say, I used to hate jeans. Now I don't. That's how I feel about Mugsy Jeans. I used to hate jeans. They'd be too stiff. They would be scratchy, just uncomfortable jeans. Well, guess what? That is no longer an issue for me because Mugsy Jeans are all that and more. I'm telling you, if you see me wearing jeans, I'm wearing Mugsy Jeans. The only type of jeans that I own. And the same dudes that brought us the world's most comfortable jeans are also your one-stop shop for chinos, shorts, tees, and hoodies. If Mugsy's making it, I'm wearing it. That's how comfortable their clothes are. That's not an exaggeration. I wear them all the time. For a limited time only, the entire store is 25% off for early Black Friday shoppers. You do not want to miss this perfect Christmas gift. If there's somebody in your life that needs new jeans, somebody that you want to do maybe the biggest favor possible for, buy the Mugsy Jeans. They will thank you. They will not forget it. You'll change their life. Do your legs a favor. Head on over to mugsyjeans.com to pick up a pair of the most comfortable jeans we've ever worn. That's mugsyjeans.com. Get 25% off your entire order.
What's going on? Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Clap it up.
Congratulations.
Clap it up.
Hey, Aaron, they want to bring us the beer keg out there, man. I was asking, like, where's the keg? Bring the keg out.
What keg?
Yeah, the beer barrel. We can't do that anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's bullshit.
right.
Oh, for winning?
Mm-hmm.
Who did y'all play?
Kentucky.
Oh, the keg. I ain't never had no keg.
It was.
a beer barrel.
It's a beer barrel.
It wasn't there when you were there either. They got rid of it in like the 90s because there was a tragic accident. But
What was the accident?
so Tennessee and Kentucky used to play for an orange and blue beer barrel. It had the years on it and like who won. And then in the 90s, some coaches I think got in like a DUI accident. Somebody died. It was horrible. But like now, it was an awesome trophy, and now it's just gone forever.
I think we bring back the beer barrel.
It's been in the last few years. It's been a movement. We want it back.
Yeah, well, congratulations. I'm gonna give you guys a beer barrel. You won your first beer barrel today or this weekend. Very happy for you guys. Hendon, you are the SEC Offensive Player of the Week, are you not?
That man,
sir,
he is that man. Stop playing.
Your stat line is hilarious, by the way. I love it. You were like the most efficient quarterback in the world. 15 of 20, right?
15 of 20, 316 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks.
Yeah,
Also,
pretty good.
Is there a rushing touchdown, or was it just 4 passing?
4 passing.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. What, did you guys have today off, or are you back practicing?
No, we got workouts, meetings.
Mm-hmm. Workouts and meetings.
The whole
Yeah,
nine.
workouts this morning. Got a couple
Employees, man, they got shit to do.
for sure.
Cap.
So now you got Georgia this weekend, right?
Yes,
For sure.
sir.
All right. What have you seen on film? Give me some numbers that you've seen on film from Georgia so far.
On defense, offense, which one you want first?
You tell me.
Okay, shoot, I'll go first. And then defense. I mean, like you've seen, if you have seen them play, they fly around on defense. Real strong up front, athletic on the back end. Linebackers really smart. Like to mix up the coverages, some 3, some 2, send some blitz at you half the time. Other than that, shoot, they play hard. I mean, they look good. They're a good football team. We'll go after them on Saturday.
This could be a statement win for you guys. Shock the world. Also, your dog is way better than their dog. I don't think I'm out of line saying that. Ugg is not that cute. We were just talking on this show about how you would prove to somebody in the year 1800. Let's say you went back in time, and you arrive in the world and it's 1800 all around you. You're not allowed to bring anything with you from the future.
Slavery aside.
So let's just say that you land in a neutral small town somewhere in the middle of America. And you have to prove that you're from the future. How do you do it?
Tell them a future stat. So like,
No, I ain't gonna tell them no shit like that.
you're not.
No, they ain't gonna be there. They ain't gonna be able to see it. Like they gonna be dead before this shit happen. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some weird shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some shit like that they just ain't gonna comprehend. But like we do on the regular.
Like what?
I don't know.
You can't bring anything from the future.
I'm trying to think.
I think if you just ran, if you like if you sprinted, they would be like, I've never seen somebody run that fast in my entire life.
But what I do is when one of them sprain their ankle, they ain't gonna know what the hell an ankle sprain is. So I'm gonna show them how to.
Tell me, bro. Hey, bro. I'm positive somebody in human history up to the 1800s has had an ankle sprain.
Yeah, but they didn't know how to fix it. I'm on his side.
probably didn't know how
They
to
used to
dock
kill
like-
people. Like you
I don't think that's
They
true.
just
I
gave
don't
you
think that's.
cocaine. They just
I
gave you
don't think-
cocaine. They're like, this
I don't think that's true.
Was
We don't
it-
know how to
they were
fix it.
doing,
We just have
they were
to let
doing
it heal.
cocaine recreationally back then. Like that was a medicine back then. Crack wasn't invented yet, though. So if I get some baking, but flood the streets. That's how we're talking.
Yeah, that's how you prove you're from the future.
Would you do so? You do rest, elevate the
Rice.
the rice, yeah, the rice.
Compress.
Mhm.
I'm saying there's no way to fix the sprained ankle. Like, you just gotta wait that shit out.
Yeah, for sure.
Fix.
Yeah, but they used to throw like a barrel of leeches on like a sprained ankle. Like you could show them a better way.
Oh, Coley, you
I'm
should.
pretty sure ice has been the therapeutic remedy for ailments.
Where were
for
they
a
storing
while.
ice back then? They didn't have refrigeration.
That's true.
Coley, teach him how to cure hiccups.
I mean, that shocks people. People might think I'm from the future now with that. So I don't know that could help me anything.
Mm-hmm. I think I would write songs in front of people nonstop, but they'd all be plagiarized songs from the future. So I'd have an unlimited supply of bangers.
Like that Beatles movie.
What?
I'd have an unlimited supply of bangers in my head ready to go, just singing every popular song that I could ever think of. And they'd either think I was like the biggest musical genius that's ever existed, or it's like, yeah, that guy's definitely from the future.
But what if they didn't like what you was like doing? Though, if you was like singing some rap to them and they ain't really messing with it.
Yeah, no, I go out there and I'm just talking about mom's spaghetti, and they're like, first of all, what's spaghetti? That's number one. Second of all, I don't know how you can lose yourself in music. That makes no sense. I don't know.
Yeah, so
I can mix it up. I could go across a few different styles, but I think it's almost impossible to say like how you would be able to go back in time and prove that you were from 200 years from now, unless you were an actual scientist. I guarantee you every chemistry teacher would be able to answer this question really easily.
Yeah, they could definitely do something like make some toothpaste or something. You
Yeah.
never know.
toothpaste.
Mhm. Yeah, toothpaste. That's not a bad idea.
When did toothpaste come out?
Yeah, look at that. Cause
What?
They all had shitty teeth back then.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, having as good
Around
of
18.
teeth as we do now, as
Toothpaste
white
was
and
used
straight we are.
Toothpaste was used as early as 5000 BC, so you ain't doing nothing new, man.
You might not have any fluoride in their toothpaste.
Oh,
or
God.
something. You'll never know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a really good question. I'm sure that there's some really easy answers to it that we haven't even thought of yet, though.
We do have to talk about one more thing with Tyler, though.
Chill.
You know what that is.
I mean, they didn't call it, so I don't know what to say.
Oh no. No, not that. Wait, listen. We love
okay,
SEC
man.
officials on this show. What we have to talk about is late in the game, huge sack from Tyler, like game-changing play. He gets up. I'm so ready. I'm ready to see it.
No, I didn't. I thought it was a flag. That's why I ain't do nothing. I thought they was.
that's crazy.
There was no bow.
He didn't do this shit?
Peek.
Docked.
So I look, chill. So I look over my coach Rodney Garner, the best D-line coach in the country, and he over there spazzing. I'm talking about he going crazy, like cussing me out and everything. So I just ain't think it was right. You feel me? Like it just wasn't.
Sound like bullshit. That's crazy, bro.
Y'all
That's
was in the
crazy,
Y'all
bro.
was in the building with, bro. Y'all wouldn't have did it either.
I've gotten plenty flags doing shit I wasn't supposed to.
What did you think that you did? It sounds like you had a guilty conscience for something.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I thought it was it's over with. They can't go back.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Listen, we did everything right.
It definitely was a face mask. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, got you.
Face mask. 100%.
Oh, somebody tweeted that at me, and I didn't know what the fuck they was
bad.
talking about. It was like, just in case, somebody tweeted me a picture of somebody face masking somebody, and so just in case Big T wants to talk shit, this is why. And I'm like, I had no idea what he was talking about.
They converted their coach actually got
Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
So their coach ended up getting flagged on that for an unsportsmanlike. I can't imagine what he said to get a flag after that. But then they converted the 4th and 24, so they can't even say that they lost because of that.
Yeah, they didn't really even do nothing.
Talking about they converted a 4th.
Yeah, well, listen, we won the game. We won the game.
Man, bro.
I thought Tyler was gonna hit the bow though. I just saw him doing like this. I thought he was going.
Because I was looking, I was like, why everybody tripping? I was like, what's going on?
They was wondering why you wasn't doing the bow, nigga.
That's definitely what it was.
No, yeah. I folded. I said a nigga
So
folded.
girl, you do it on this stage this week. It's even better. You know what I mean? So
That's
So
true.
really, I was saving the shit. You feel me?
there you go. I like it.
Yeah. Now all eyes are going to be on you this weekend. You've dangled it out there. Now people are expecting it. They're going to be real upset if you don't follow through on it.
I'm gonna be real upset if you don't follow through with it.
There you go.
Yep.
Internal
But
pressure.
really, the question is why he ain't did the shit. He score every game.
Why are you blaming your teammate?
I'm all right with that though. I know he definitely passed the buck a little bit. I'm okay with that.
What you want to see?
Give us one. Do that.
Okay.
Do my shit.
Do the bow.
Yeah.
Fuck that. When you score, I'm gonna come on to when you running off, and we're gonna make some up.
I like that.
Feel me? We're gonna do something.
I like
Let's
that.
go.
Little, collaboration.
Okay.
With it.
Look, we do that. Yeah, we're gonna think something.
That's fire. I like it.
So 45-42. I mean, Hendon, great job. Tyler, you play defense. Like, what the fuck? 42 points? That's
I ain't gonna lie, we were tripping. We made the plays when they needed to be made, though. So I'm
For sure. That's what we need.
Okay.
And we're on the field a lot, though. 99 plays.
Yeah, Hendon, do you feel bad being so efficient on offense that you don't give your defense enough time to relax?
So it's really his fault.
I do feel bad for y'all, but at the same time, like, shoot, I'm trying to score as fast as possible.
God.
Telling y'all, man. Yo, so you have you watched any film of Georgia yet?
Yes, of course.
All right, so how do you go about attack? So they don't, how's their offense? Their offense ain't that good, is
They're
it?
gonna run that ball.
Yeah, they're gonna run
try
it.
to run it ball.
Really, the whole thing is to win the game is just playing clean. You can't have little mistakes because they're gonna capitalize on them. They're a good ball team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I have not watched the Georgia game yet, but everybody's saying it's like one of the best defenses of all time and shit. So, is there any like weaknesses you see to exploit, like for real, or is it just like we just gotta?
Tempo is a real thing. It's been bigger than it has been this whole season in this game. The tempo, and then just taking advantage of our one-on-ones outside. You know, our receivers are dominant, so getting them the ball is a priority.
They play a lot of man.
Yeah.
My question is, what we got to do to get you to a game?
What's up, man?
It's a good question. I'll say this: if you guys beat Georgia,
And they look like shit. Y'all niggas like
if you beat Georgia, the size of the bag that we will drop for you guys is going to be so big that I will insist on being there in person because I'm going to carry it in a briefcase that's handcuffed to my hand.
Will you commit right now? If we beat Georgia, we all go to the Vandy game.
Oh, it's Vandy?
Thanksgiving weekend.
That's fucking gross.
I can't go Thanksgiving, man. My mama cooking. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I ain't gonna lie.
Week after. Then next week, South Alabama.
Where's the bowl game?
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
No, I know that, but I'm saying like that seems more feasible.
Okay, yeah.
Bowl game?
We're looking at Texas Bowl, maybe Duke's Mayo. We're looking at a couple different ones right now.
Yeah, we love Mayo. I think I'll go to the bowl game. If you guys beat Georgia, I'll go to the bowl game. Arian?
I'm down.
Hell yeah.
I'll do that.
All right, we'll go to the bowl game. We'll hype you guys up.
Big T's fired up.
Oh, we got to win. We got to win this week.
This guy, Big T, is on fire with his sports teams recently.
This was the best week I've ever had in the history of sports.
Yeah.
Braves won the World Series. We win in Lexington. Falcons win in the Superdome.
You've latched yourself onto a very successful sports fan right now in Big T.
Solid week.
Shit, keep it going.
Just ride that wave. Ride the T wave.
I'll go ahead and go to say Big T, our good luck charm.
Fuck yeah. Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that.
That's awesome.
Billy, do you have any questions for? So Billy is our quarterback on this show.
I played D3. I'm totally retired.
But his team just won the entire league this weekend.
Oh, that's
Don't
lit.
jinx him. No, but Hendon, you're about to play with the best college defense ever. Like, that's got to be insane. Just like thinking about like walking out in practice, just preparing for it. Like that's like you have an opportunity that no one else in America has right now to like do something huge, and that's like that's just crazy. From someone who just like played football and just like played against big teams, like you're coming up, you can ball out and like become a legend. Just remember that.
Yeah, Billy.
We're not scared of shit,
No
Billy.
pressure.
I'm about to say,
pressure
I
at
really
all.
just think about it. It's another day at the office. I'm gonna go out there, play
Okay.
ball. Like
That's right.
Nah, it ain't. It ain't, dog.
You said it ain't.
They tell you all the time, man. They say big time players make big time plays in big time games.
Come on now.
It's different. This shit like so if you going against a whole bunch of future NFL prospects, right?
Yeah.
To show what you can do, them scouts is watching. Like it's a big game.
I, as a former athlete myself, finished. I think our team was 11th place in United States rugby back in 2011. Not to brag, just a fact.
What sport he was playing?
Arian's right that it is a little bit different. You prepare the same way that you prepare, but you do it knowing that it is just a fact. It's going to be on an elevated platform. And Billy's 100% correct. Like the opportunity. Big opportunity coming up this weekend. It is an awesome opportunity.
I mean, don't be like, I'm not saying like a lot of pressure. I'm like, dude, like that's an awesome moment.
it's
Just go
cool
out.
to have an opportunity like that. Very few people in life work hard enough to get to the point where they get an opportunity like you've had because of the work that you've put in. So what Billy's saying, I think, is enjoy that.
It's exciting.
Oh yeah. Enjoy every moment.
Of course.
All right, and my official prediction is Tennessee by 40.
Yes.
What are you guys thinking?
It'll be close, but we're gonna win. It'll be 31 to 27 Vols.
31-27. Okay. Billy?
I like that.
I'm gonna go
I
Things
really
be
don't give a damn one more point than they do.
28-21 Vols.
Bowl.
Vols. Let's go Vols. He loves small animals. That's kind of his thing. The point is, you guys are. I'm proud of you guys. Good luck. Hope you have a great week of practice. And we need to get your Cash App because we've got some money for you.
Yes, sir.
In our name, image, likeness deal. Wait, quick question. Do you guys have a fullback?
I guess you
No.
say like they're kind of extinct now.
No.
No, that was the wrong thing to say, Hendon.
They are like the game has just evolved to like.
Stop talking. You're talking to the wrong guy right now.
No. Don't tell him to stop talking. He can have his opinion. His opinion's wrong. But they're great teams that have
We
a
do have a
fullback.
fullback. Princeton fan. If we had a fullback, he'll be our fullback.
Okay, why do you say that?
Cause if y'all go back and watch the first play of the game, he laying folks out like body lead blocking.
Princeton fan. That's a great name too. That's a fullback name.
Strong name.
Oh yeah.
Number 88. So he looks. Oh my! Look at this dude's head. His head was made with like a protractor. It's just like angle. This is a fullback. You're absolutely right. That's fullback. Princeton fan, the honorary fullback from the University of Tennessee. I just like fullbacks. I feel like they added a nice element of physicality to an offense. Sometimes.
Too.
Definitely very physical. Lead the way.
Good.
Clear the path.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anybody have anything else for our good friends?
Good luck this weekend, gentlemen. Big thing, man.
G.
Appreciate y'all.
Oh, how's the banana eater? Will Lewis, you talk some shit to him about that? On the TikTok, the guy who put mayo in his coffee?
I'm gonna be real. Y'all gonna think I'm weird as hell, but I might be one of the only people on the team that I really just don't talk during the game. I don't be saying. I mean, I'll talk a little. If somebody say something to me, I'll say something back, but I don't be saying shit.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that's how you do
Talk
it.
shit. No, that ain't how you do it. You got to talk shit.
Everybody be talking.
Sure.
He be talking his shit for sure.
I talk.
I love it.
For sure. But I'd be like that. I'd be too focused.
So there were no Mayo comments on the field?
Nah. I mean, he was saying some weird shit, but it was like
What was he saying?
What'd he say?
it was the point where I was like, bro, like, what the hell is you talking about?
What'd he say? Give us one.
I mean, he was just saying some off the wall shit that made you look at him like, huh? Like he was trying to throw you off your game.
Yeah.
It wasn't even,
he was saying some of that.
like some weird, like some weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
He can't.
I'm not gonna repeat, obviously.
Yeah,
but y'all know my train of thought.
Who's the best shit talker that you've ever played against?
Kyle Trask.
Trask?
Hell yeah, he was talking his shit.
Oh,
Billy looks kind of like Cal Trask.
that sometimes.
I never thought that until just now.
He was talking his shit.
With the hair.
What about Arian? You can answer too. Who's the best shit talker you played against?
So Ray Lewis used to talk shit, but
Let's say go.
he wasn't like, it wasn't like disrespectful. You know what I mean? The dude that used to talk shit, I used to get into it. It was a linebacker that played for Atlanta, Witherspoon. Me and that nigga was like, yeah, but me and that nigga was like, we used to go at like, now I'll fight you after the game. But then what I loved about him was after the game, we shook it up like, bro, I appreciate it. It's just, you know, it's all love. You know what I'm saying? It's just, we just talking shit. But like during the game, every time I played him a couple times, every time we played, it was like nigga, I'll whoop you. Like it was like fighting shit, right? And as soon as the game ended, we locked it up. Matter of fact, we follow each other on the gram and everything. Like he retired too. Like, yeah, it's all love.
Thanks.
I mean,
I think it was him though, definitely.
It's pretty great just asking Arian a question like that, and his answer is like, I don't know, Ray Lewis is pretty good. It's like, yeah, yeah.
I just and I was like, wow, you finna say a GOAT or somebody that.
Yeah,
because the majority of like real like legends like that, a lot of them, especially like towards the latter end part of their career, they didn't really talk much. Like it was just like, so like I played with who's gonna be a Hall of Famer, Andre Johnson. Like he didn't say a fucking word. Like he never spoke. And so a lot of them cats was like that. But every now and then you'll get one who was like woofing. Like Ed Reed didn't say shit either. Troy Polamalu, I don't even know if that motherfucker talked the entire game. That was really weird because I don't know. You would think like they would be talking shit, but he don't really say nothing either.
I feel like Ray Lewis would also, like towards the end of his career, he would just go out of his way to like praise you after he hit you. He'd be like, follow the Lord after he just knocked the fuck out of you.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit I'm expecting to hear from him, like a Bible verse.
Yeah.
He would do that shit after the game for sure. Like,
Andre did fight Cortland Finnegan though. That was one of the best fights ever.
That's the thing though, dog. Like I was in that game, bro. This motherfucker, Andre don't talk, so it's Cortland Finnegan. He was just fucking with Dre for years. And then finally Dre was like Drake does not talk. Like he doesn't speak. He doesn't say words. Like I've known this nigga for over 10 years. He don't talk. And Cortland Finnegan just kept fucking with him, like hitting him after the play, like little silly shit like that. And Dre don't talk, bro. And so like for him to get that mad, you gotta be an asshole. Like because Dre just be minding his business.
Yeah, I imagine Cortland Finnegan is all-time shit talker, but in a way that's like not cool. A way that makes you 100%. Actually hate him because everybody hated that dude.
Yo, and it was fucking with me every time you was on this podcast, Hendon. You look like Anthony Mackie, bro. I didn't know what. I couldn't. I was like, yo, he remind me of somebody. I don't know what. Anthony Mackie, bro. 100%, without a doubt. Look at that shit. You look just like Buddy. You look just like Buddy, bro. That shit's crazy.
What were you typing in to pull that up?
I typed in Falcon Marvel, dude. Like,
Ooh, yeah, it really do.
You look just like this cat.
Tyler trying me, but that's all right.
Chill out.
Come on, you don't see it? You gotta see it.
Man, no.
He see it. That's why he mad.
You lying.
Man, I heard somebody say that.
Yeah,
after the game on Saturday. Like Falcon.
That's your twin, boy. I ain't gonna lie.
That's crazy.
That's a good ass joke.
Come on, man.
That's a good ass joke.
I can't believe y'all said that.
Facts. Bring it to the squad. Blame his ass.
But you gonna slip up, take some.
OG, you about to have him in trouble, man. Talking about bringing the squad, he gonna be in trouble. Everybody gonna be joking on the watch.
What they be calling you?
Chill out.
Like, all right, I ain't gonna do it to him.
They be saying lame ass jokes, man. Don't even.
I'm gonna get one for you too, though. Give me a week. I got you.
All right. Well, good luck. Enjoy your opportunity. I hope you guys beat the shit out of Georgia, and if you do, we promise we will go to one of your games.
Yes, sir. Got to.
Looking forward to it. Good luck, guys.
I feel like you've been eating that same cup of soup for like an
that
hour.
has to be cold.
Isn't
by
it kind
now.
of like geriatric to
I
eat
didn't even
soup
warm
all
it
the
up.
time?
You said what?
Like eating soup all the time, doesn't that give you like geriatric vibes?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Soup is kind of good, man.
I
mean,
love soup.
Billy's just, I don't know. Billy's upset
He's
about
coming
the whole
after.
alchemy
He's
thing.
coming after you. He's coming after you, man. Like,
Yeah. He's like, you're
If
probably going to
anything
die soon,
happens-
right? You're old.
Kidney stones, man.
Yeah, fuck you for the kidney stone.
That's
thing.
how you prove you're from the future.
I've got.
That's a
Passive
kidney stone.
stones. Check this out. This is gold.
I've definitely noticed though that when I wake up in the morning, my kidneys hurt, or at least my right kidney does, and that's. I think it's a big symptom of having tons of kidney stones. Is in the morning when you get out of bed, your side just fucking kills. So I'm
Is this
sure-
like a sharp pain? Like what kind of pain is it?
yeah, it's sharpish, and then when it starts to pass, it becomes more of like a strong, dull pain in certain areas. You never think about where your kidneys are inside your body on a day-to-day basis. At least I never did. And then I started having this one pain on my left side that was almost down in my ass area. That's how low in the back it was. That was the first kidney stone. That was the worst one. These other ones have been like child's play. The first one was pretty tough.
Yeah, I've never felt the presence of my kidneys.
Mm-hmm. It's not a good feeling.
But isn't it like in the back? When you feel it in the back that low, isn't that when it's like moving?
That's when the kidney stone might be on its way down. Yeah,
Right.
Getting punched in the kidney.
that hurts.
You can feel it. That was the first time I recognized.
Wait,
I have
where would you
kidneys.
get? Where would that be
Yeah,
getting punched?
yeah. Where would that be, my G?
Right up here. Right up here.
How are you getting? What are you getting punched?
Billy
there
trained to be a
for?
boxer.
Oh right.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
when like
Makes
because when
sense.
you first start sparring, like the really good boxers, they don't want to hit you too hard in the face, so they just give you huge body shots, like Rocky movie style, and it just sucks.
I'm like trying to imagine Jersey Jerry going through that right now,
Yeah.
and I'm not imagining it.
You ever been punched in your liver?
Like up.
Yeah, I heard that the liver is the one that hurts the most. It can just
Well,
shut you down.
It's just solar plexus.
Yeah, but if you take a liver shot, it can actually make you collapse.
I'm lucky enough not to get hit in the liver
I
yet.
feel like that's one of those places you can't flex it or like almost deflect it. It's just like there.
Mm-hmm.
Lose all your breath,
Yeah,
just gasping.
God,
Got a mouth guard in your mouth. Can't breathe.
that sounds so terrible.
Is that the sound?
Yeah.
I don't know how you did that for 3 months, Billy.
Yeah. Well, it was a lot harder than the actual.
Yeah, the fight lasted
7
minute?
seconds.
If I knew it was gonna go like that, I wouldn't have trained so hard. But maybe if I didn't train so
I
hard,
remember
it wouldn't have gone like that.
I'd hope not.
I remember watching it and being like, "Oh shit, Billy!" Like, "Holy shit, Billy!" And then it was
Yeah.
like 12 seconds later, you were done.
I was so pumped when you went out there and you started like actually throwing hands at Jose. I was just jumping ringside. Let's Go was playing in the background.
No, it was. Just
I was more pumped up than you were in that moment. I almost blacked out.
dude, nuts.
Yeah,
You just so when you're in that moment,
war mode.
When you're in that moment where it's like you got the opportunity to like face an unstoppable force like a Georgia defense, just got to recognize that moment.
Yeah, Jose Canseco, 2020, Georgia defense 2021, same level of athleticism.
Hopefully,
Yeah, hopefully he's right.
yeah. What's with shit pumping?
I'm such a big Tennessee Volunteers fan this weekend. You will
know.
not find a bigger Vols fan.
Let's
than
go.
me.
Come here, watch a game with us.
Yeah,
I'm
wait.
gonna watch the
where's-
game. I think I'm gonna watch the game this
What's the Tennessee bar in like New York City?
Margaritaville, Times Square Resort.
No,
Got
it's Printer's Alley. It actually is in Times Square, or near Times Square.
Ew.
Yeah.
It's like a Nashville themed bar. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
That's pretty tight.
I think I'm going to be in Margaritaville. I think you can't keep me away.
Oh, we about to get up soon, huh? What's it? Yeah, I fly out Monday. To
Yeah,
y'all.
next week.
No, Sunday. I fly out Sunday to y'all.
Oh yeah, the live show sold out in like 20 minutes. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you
Oh,
so
word?
much, guys. Yeah, 30
Yeah.
minutes. It sold out.
Thanks to
That's
everybody that bought a
fire,
ticket.
bro.
We have people like in our DMs being like, "I'm so sorry I missed it. I was driving home from work. Like, do you
Yeah.
please have extra tickets?" Next
Sorry, I guess the capacity is pretty limited at this place, so unfortunately, we have no tickets to give away to anybody. But we will do another live show after this.
People are
so-
begging for us to go to San Diego for some reason.
Okay, deal.
That's like our version of like, you know how when like singers are always like, people like come to Brazil, all the Brazilian fans are crazy. San Diego is our Brazil.
Don't ask me twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who the hell's listening from San Diego? We have
Why is that the craziest place you could?
I don't know. I just feel like
I went to high school there. Let's fucking do it, bro.
Yeah.
true.
I think if I lived in San Diego, I would not consume podcasts.
Ever.
I would just be laying.
Why are they inside? Or I guess you could listen to podcasts outside. That was dumb.
I mean,
I listen to podcasts like while I'm at work and stuff. So that's what I associate doing it with.
you know what's wild is I don't listen to podcasts.
Really?
I've had two. My last podcast was pretty successful. This one's doing well too. I do not listen to podcasts.
I
It's
love
weird.
good podcasts.
I actually stopped. So I used to listen to podcasts a ton in high school, driving to high school every day. And
Yeah,
then,
we know.
on
And you
team
stopped
buses?
one until you got on one.
Yeah. No, but then when I went to college, I just totally stopped listening to podcasts.
See, mine's like I listened to a bunch in college, and now that I work here, I don't listen to as much anymore.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, I listen to very few, but when I do, it's usually just something that's like historical. I love hardcore history.
Informational.
Hardcore history is good, but it takes like 7 hours per episode. It's just a ridiculously long podcast. I think he's just Dan Carlin's just fucking with us at this point, seeing like how long he can make an episode and still get massive amounts of downloads from it. But yeah, I don't like to listen to any sports podcasts or any podcasts that might be similar to this one, just because I don't like the idea of me hearing somebody say something and then that thought creeping into my brain, and then I say something that's similar to what they said, and then all of a sudden I'm stealing somebody else's take on an issue. So I just figured it's better off to just not listen whatsoever. Now I do watch Skip Bayless. I will watch that man until the day. I was going to say till the day he dies. I'm going to die way earlier than Skip Bayless because he's in peak physical condition. If you've ever seen him shirtless, man, he's a stud. But yeah, that's the only one that I listen to in terms of sports. All right, Isaac Newton, incel, volcel. Not sure which one it is.
Or gay.
Or gay. The possibilities are endless. Where do we leave off with him?
He's a failed alchemist and Billy isn't.
And going back in time and how you would prove that you're from the future.
Okay.
I feel
failing alchemist and Billy isn't. That's a good joke.
I would like to apologize for people who find my thought process annoying, because I do feel bad. Because sometimes I don't even know what I'm arguing.
Yeah, no, your thought process.
We know that.
Your thought process is the best part of you, Billy. It's the thought output sometimes that I trust the process. The results are not always what I'm looking for.
The journey is the destination.
Exactly.
All
yeah.
I wanted to show is that there is science today that is sort of kind of like alchemy.
He's gonna die on his hill. That's crazy.
We're back on it.
He's gonna die on his hill.
But did I not
Billy,
prove?
they can't make anything out of gold, bro.
So they didn't make it out of gold. They made it out of other shitty metal.
They can't make gold out of anything. Is what I meant to say.
But they did.
Again,
Very little.
They didn't.
Keep conflating anything with one specific thing.
Okay, but Isaac Newton, he did a bunch of shit with gravity, figured out mathematical equations that went into observing how the universe works around us. And he kind of followed up on Descartes was another really smart guy that Newton like used some of his formulas and added on to, but basically figured out that the way that the universe works is all intertwined, and you can quantify how stars move, how planets move, down to how an apple moves on this earth based on these equations that he figured out. So he figured out the invisible forces that are behind everything that we know about in our universe on his own, which is
Not
pretty
necessarily. Yes. Impressive as fuck, but not necessarily, because like one of the things that haunted him was he understood the application of gravity, but he didn't understand how it worked. It took Einstein to give us a clear definition of how it actually works. So like space-time and the bending of it, and like that was something that blew his mind. He didn't know how he understood how it worked. Like he understood the application of it, but he didn't know how. Like what is it? He didn't understand that part of it.
I like the idea of Isaac Newton laying in bed at night, unable to sleep because he's being haunted by the fact that he doesn't know how gravity works. And he's just like waking up in a cold sweat. Like, no, come on, free me from this hell.
And he bumps his partner over that they just got done with a session. He's like,
It would be sick though if you could introduce Isaac Newton to Albert Einstein and let them
That
have a
would be-
conversation. I would like to be a fly on the wall for that one.
Well,
because Einstein was a little cooler than Einstein Newton. At least Einstein liked to party and stuff. He was definitely fucking his cousin, but aside from that, he was a little bit of a womanizer. Probably he was getting it in.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd rather get Einstein and Ben Franklin together. I feel like they would hit it off famously.
Yeah.
Why those two? Why those two?
I mean, when you start talking about like womenizing and just like having a good time, that's Benny Franks, like a guy who exclusively bathed naked, not exclusively, but mostly bathed naked on his own porch. And that was his ways to get air baths is what he invented. Like, I feel like those two would get along famously.
Mhm.
That's wild, actually.
He's a big toot guy, right?
Oh yeah, huge. Love
Toot?
Love the whores.
the pros.
What is it, toot?
The pros.
Yeah, he loves sex workers. He was
Ahead of his time.
yeah, pro sex worker. Ben Franklin.
I didn't know you called them toots. Toot is I didn't know.
I think Coley just invented that one, but I like it. I think we should continue to use it. Ben Franklin was such a big toot guy that he's known, like one of the main things that he's known for is how many times he would get on a boat and go over to Paris just to have sex with prostitutes. That's got to be a lot if that's what you're known for.
That
300
is a
years.
mission. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question to ask. What's the longest mission you've been on? A mission being, I'm strictly going to go have intercourse. And what's the longest mission you've had? Like a journey too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. 3-hour car ride. Not that long.
That's a long mission.
You're in college. People are at different places.
Yeah, I could see that one.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is I guess it would be an hour car ride, but I've definitely gone to a city before with like, yo, I'm finna meet
Yeah,
up with shorty.
no, that counts.
But it always mutual. I mean, I had other things
Always
to do, so
mutual.
it wasn't just for like I didn't go to some city in Montana just for that. That would be tricking. That would be a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Billy? What's your longest mission, man?
Billy doesn't want to incriminate himself.
Oh, you don't want to get banned from the incel crowd.
Yeah, I'm terrified. They'll come up. You guys are admitted sex havers. They don't know shit about me.
Yeah, I got fucking 4 kids, dog. Definitely have got it in, Billy.
What else about Newton? What were some of his other cool experiments that he had?
He invented a better way to view. So the telescope, our modern telescope,
That's
our
right.
satellites that view out. He actually invented the first version of that. So like the old telescopes, like with Galileo and all them, like there would be like this fuzzy ring around all of the celestial bodies. Because it was glass. They use glass. He decided to use a mirror in there somehow. I don't understand the optics of it, but that is literally our telescopes to this day, just on a grander and more accurate scale. He did that. He fucking figured out that sunlight or white light is comprised of the many colors, the different colors.
Mm-hmm.
There's endless things that this make. Invented calculus. There's just endless things that this man is fucking genius.
The law of gravitation, mass attracts mass.
Mm-hmm.
It's
The
inverse
laws of
statistics.
motion.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of like what Jim Harbaugh says now. Like he invented the human body craves contact thing.
Yeah.
That was originally done by Newton. He also, so the telescope that you were talking about, Arian, he invented that as just a toy for himself. He didn't do it because he was trying to sell a patent or change how telescopes were made on a big scale. He was just like, hey, this telescope, it sucks because it has these rings around it. Why don't I invent my own? And then it took one of his friends using it and being like, holy shit, you just changed science, to bring it to, I think he took it to Cambridge or to another university and put it on display. And all the world's most prominent, astronomers were like, wow, this is incredible. This is now how we are going to be building telescopes from now on. It was just because he felt like he had a toy at home that he made better.
I mean, that's the weirdness of him was his brilliance. He didn't really even show like he invented that when he used calculus. Like, he did the same thing with calculus. He was just like, this math is really inefficient to what I'm trying to do. Let me invent another one. And so he invented another way to calculate things at a very intricate level. And there were other things he did, but he didn't let loose until like 40 or 50 years later. And he published it. He's like, yeah, I did that shit a long time ago. Like crazy shit, though. Like, I think he also figured out that Halley's Comet it keeps coming around. And so he was one of the first ones actually to kind of debunk the whole comets are omens of good or bad things. He was like, no, this is going to come around during this time. And he like predicted when it was going to come around.
I love his rivalries. He had a bunch of different rivalries. He had beef with almost everybody. He had maybe a couple friends, but I have to assume that even his best friends were sometimes, they got on the wrong side of him from time to time. The rivalry that he had against the German guy that claimed that he invented calculus, that's an all-timer, because you could just... It must have been very easy to plagiarize back in that time period, because all it would take would be one trip to England, you read something, and then you can go back to Germany and tell everybody that you invented this one thing, and everybody will believe you. It was the golden age of plagiarism, except Newton found out about it because Newton, I think he's one of those guys that has such a big chip on his shoulder that he's like proactively looking for new people to create rivalries with. And he found out that dude, Gottfried Leibniz, was claiming to invent calculus. And they took it all the way to the highest court in the land, like the calculus court or the math court, whatever that was, the Royal Society. And then in 1712, Newton agreed that an impartial committee would be assembled to look into the issue. And instead, Newton packed the committee with his biggest supporters and even penned the group's report himself, which publicly credited him with discovering calculus. So respect to Isaac Newton. The man knew how to get results. I mean, that's such a power move.
Do you think it was, though, the time in that some people were coming to the same conclusions? Because you see that
10 years apart, they both happened to invent calculus. I don't know.
Well, because it was a phenomenon they were trying to explain. Like it's more that they didn't invent it; it's that they discovered it.
That's actually a debate in itself. Did we discover math or invent it?
Because calculus was just some way to describe the phenomenon that they were seeing when it came to mass, force, acceleration, and stuff. Were they just discovering it independently? Because sometimes, when I tweet something and I think it's clever and independent from my own head, like there's some other person who's like, I tweeted this before you, and I'm just like, or you stole my tweet, but it
wasn't calculus, man.
I know it wasn't calculus, but like we both came up with it spontaneously.
Yeah, no, like
we're just
when Billy tweeted out, do you think that there are girls out there that are rooting for the Houston Astros just because they want to seem like they're into astrology? When Billy tweeted that out, that's this generation's calculus.
Yeah, man.
It is.
I was just describing a phenomenon that was already out there.
You're just vibing. Yeah, no.
Girls who probably were being forced to watch the baseball game because they probably weren't interested, or they're trying to be social.
Why wouldn't a woman be interested in baseball?
Just hypothetically, just like one who did not like baseball.
Why couldn't it be a guy?
Yeah, okay. It could be a guy. Could be, it's just like someone who's into astrology being like, oh, this game's on. Oh, well, that team's the Astros, and I'm a Aries, so I'm gonna root for the Astros.
Holy shit!
No, that Billy discovered that tweet. He didn't invent it.
Yeah, I discovered it. I just discovered that connection.
No one really invents anything. If we're breaking it down, there's a finite number of words that we have right now, and they can be combined in a finite number of combinations. Granted, the number is very big, but still, you're just assembling them in one particular order.
Look, I mean, people think that there's not much intricacy to my tweet game, but I literally was trying to connect World Series Twitter with
the universe.
Astrology Twitter.
Two of the biggest Twitters.
Mm-hmm. Two huge Twitters. And the connection made a bridge.
World Series Twitter.
It was very cringy, but if you didn't...
Did the tweet do well?
It did well.
Oh, yeah, real well.
Well, a lot of replies.
What's the traffic?
They
What's
weren't
the traffic on that
necessarily
tweet?
positive.
I didn't get
Engagement is
ratioed.
engagement.
I didn't get ratioed.
I should have.
I was not
you.
ratioed. I did not get ratioed on that tweet.
All right, so are we saying that Isaac Newton did not invent calculus or did not
I
discover
think he
it?
just discovered it.
I think the German guy's a fraud.
It's a debate within, like, you'll see people on both sides. I think along the lines of there's a few trains of thought here. Isaac Newton has so much on his resume that it's more likely that he was the discoverer of it. Like, he's just done so much that it's hard to say that it wasn't him. And he doesn't have a lot of reason to lie about it. Like, he was just so brilliant.
Well,
I just don't. Go ahead.
he also invested in the South Sea company, which was a flop. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, we all get got by a telemarketer every now and then. You know?
No.
So what else did this guy Gottfried Leibniz do? What else is on his resume? Is he a one-hit wonder with this calculus business, or did he have other notable discoveries? Because I'm gonna look that up, and I'm gonna base a lot of my decision on his Wikipedia page.
On his Wikipedia page.
But it's
he was
also
a
like,
mathematician.
Okay.
but it's also like the idea of writing 1 + 1 = 2. Like, did you invent 1
Right.
+ 1 = 2?
Well, this is the thing. Math. So people, like, there are scientists that debate this, right? Did we discover or did we invent it? I'm of the camp. It's really a philosophical question, but I'm of the camp that we invented it. Because even if you like talk to physicists or mathematicians, our equations are not like perfect. Like it doesn't exactly describe the natural universe, right? It's just our best tool that we have to gauge it and to predict future patterns and behavior. So I'm of the camp that we invented it, and it's very useful. But it's also applicable to a lot of things that is accurate. So it's I guess it's a philosophical question. Where you stand on it, Billy?
All right. So yeah, go ahead, Billy. Sorry.
Well, I don't know. I think it's more of I like to think of it as a description of a phenomenon, and that everything that, is interconnected, and how physics, like when you first learn like basic physics, like force equals mass times acceleration, and you sort of figure out that like, oh man, this all connects and like makes sense. That was like a pretty cool moment. So I feel like those things that just make sense and connect, like we didn't create that sort of original, like it shows that there's something else that was created and there's a whole system that just makes sense. And we just sort of are seeing the code that it all works out in.
Mm-hmm.
So are you saying? So have you taken a hard stance? Did we invent it or discover it?
We discovered it.
So you think math it is?
Yeah, it just is. I mean, there's one book here, and then if I take the other book and put it on top, there's 2 books. Like,
you invented that.
There's 2 books.
But that's you're talking about you're describing the methodology behind
right
it. Explain how it exists independently from our perception of it.
So it exists independently because, for example, Isaac Newton's dropping stuff off towers, and he's noticing that both objects fall.
That was Galileo.
Yeah. Well, yeah, my bad. But like he's like discovering that they both fall at the same rate.
Right.
So that rate existed before we even knew what a rate was. We formulated the idea of a rate of change, and they were just rate of changing before humans were even conscious of anything.
So you're saying, I see what you're saying, but that's still the mechanism that we use, which is mathematics.
Okay.
Doesn't exist. Like, that's just our description of the phenomenon.
Right.
It's like we invented a language for what already exists.
Right. We invented the language to interpret the phenomenon that we discovered.
Yeah.
So
what I do, because I used to think that we discovered it, but like when you talk to like physicists or mathematicians, the way in which we like our equations, like for example, the way Mars orbits, we have a really good idea about where it's going to be precisely, right? But it's still not perfect. Like it's not perfection, right? And that is because our understanding of it, or our interpretation of it, or our methodology we use to encapsulate what it is, isn't 100% accurate. It's just a very good, useful tool. So it's hard to predict future events, which is basically what math does, right? The best part of it, well, I don't say the best part of the, I think the most applicable part of it is to use it to predict future events, which is a big element of science. So I mean, it's a good debate. I'm not even saying you're wrong. I was just trying to be convinced in real time.
That's the fun part. Like, because for example, I was thinking like calculus was an explanation of something we're discovering. But yes, we did invent calculus. We did invent math because that was the mode of interpreting what we discovered.
Yes.
And no, it's just fun to look at things differently.
It is.
At all times.
100%.
It's very fun. I've made some discoveries regarding this Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz guy. Dude was one of the biggest librarians in Europe, meaning his job was to review and catalog all sorts of writings from various experts that he came across. Sounds to me like he is like the perfect plagiarizer.
Damn.
You could not draw this guy up in a book.
But also someone who would have had access to a lot of information.
I'm with Big
Someone
T
who
on
could
that
have used that to...
Yes, he had access to information that other people wrote. That's what a librarian does.
Right, but then he could have used that to curate his own opinions and formulas and things like that.
So he just took other people's words, combined them into his own, and then came up with theories.
I mean, we're reading a book by a guy who was like, you know what? When you're at war, like maybe try to trick people. Like, it's not inconceivable that this guy could have.
I'm also reading about this guy on maybe the world's worst library, Wikipedia, and completely judging him. Actually, you know what? Wikipedia is pretty good for the most part.
It's not that bad.
It used to be a lot worse.
It gets a bad rap, but I think if you're really interested in researching the subject, Wikipedia is a good starting point because it gives you the sources that it got from.
Yeah, it's a great starting point.
No,
the people who talk shit about Wikipedia, it's just big book. They just want you to keep buying books. They infiltrate the school systems. They tell the public school teachers, listen, don't let these kids use Wikipedia. All the shit on there is correct. We got to keep selling these books. It's big book.
It is big book.
That's all it is.
The only thing I don't like about Wikipedia in modern times is the directly after a big sports moment happens, photoshopping and not even photoshopping, editing of pages to be like the owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Like, what year is it?
Jorge
like,
Soler owns Minute Maid Park.
Yeah, like we get it. Like I've seen that joke 10 million times. We get it. It's over.
And also, it's not funny to edit people's height on a Wikipedia page and make it seem like they're way shorter than they really are. I agree with Coley. That's messed up when people do that. Thanks for taking a stand, guys.
Has that happened to you?
No, not me personally. No, I'm just saying it might have. I don't know if I've actually come across that, but I've seen it happen to other people.
Somebody please edit PFT.
No.
Do you have your own Wikipedia?
I actually just looked it up. I'm incredibly impressed that you have a Wikipedia.
That's sick.
Somebody made me a Wikipedia page back in like 2015. I've had it for
He's
a
like
while.
one of the most.
Do you know what the height says?
What is this?
I have no idea.
It's not bad for you.
5'9".
10.
Ooh, yeah, no, Wikipedia is a great source. Big book is out to get you. I stand with Wikipedia.
So, quick question. Do we think that there are people today as smart as Isaac Newton, or was Isaac Newton just in the right place at the right time when there was stuff to be discovered?
No, I think he was
Could he
smart as
play
fuck.
in this era?
Could Isaac Newton play in this era?
He was going against plumber philosopher. What the fuck philosophers? What the fuck, bro?
Philosopher.
I've sat around Billy too fucking long.
That's not fair. You can't blame Billy for your own mistakes on this show.
I started to say philosophical, and then I was like, well, I'm trying to say philosopher, and then it was too late.
I think that there are a lot of people whose brains get wasted because they're not in. You have to be in the right place at the right time to make any sort of impact on society. Certainly, it helps if you're a genius and a next level mind, but there are all these other forces that can be stacked up against you that make it impossible for people to know how intelligent you really are.
I think because
That is a brilliant way to put that.
I don't think Isaac Newton would make it out of middle school.
You're insane.
You're so stupid.
No, in
for that.
today's
Fuck it. What
You're
are you
so
talking
dumb
about,
for
nigga?
that.
in today's I'm not saying
Bro,
it has
they don't
anything to
teach
do with
calculus in middle
intelligence.
school. What are you talking about?
I'm not saying anything about intelligence. I'm just saying I don't think he'd make it past middle school in the modern day.
No,
he get
you're
beat
wrong.
up?
Because he'd get bullied and like then
But-
go off on a bad path.
I always think about it like this, like if they could play in this era type thing, like they had so much less resources 400 years ago that in my head you have to be that much smarter to even figure that shit out without like the internet and without modern technology and all that stuff.
Right.
He
so
had zero social IQ.
Who cares if he has
But
zero social skills?
That's where his brilliance lied though. His brilliance lied in the fact that he could isolate himself and literally he would do calculations out to like the 100th decimal just because he liked to do the shit, right? That's just what he did. But also he was in an era where there wasn't many distractions. Like you could look up in the sky and the stars was breathtaking, right? Like now there's like 4 or 5 stars if you're lucky on a good night in any given city. And so the conditions that he was born in made it so that he can focus on his craft more. Like there's a whole bunch of geniuses that just get distracted nowadays. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm
with-
saying. Like
with
would
whatever.
he might get obsessed with video games or something. And
But-
just his skills wouldn't be channeled
Possible.
the right way.
But just because
possible.
he would still be, I looked it up. It says that his IQ, if they would have given him an IQ test, was around 200.
Well,
the
now
IQ
we're just
thing
saying
is-
shit.
the
Now we're
IQ
just
thing
tossing
is-
out
Yeah, where
numbers.
who administered the IQ test?
No one. They're saying
He's dead, so it's a 0.
Good point.
it would have been.
I'm way
Well,
smarter than Isaac Newton.
If my
Yeah.
grandma had wheels, she'd be a bike. I mean,
But no, you know what is interesting though? Isaac Newton didn't come from some long line of great academics. His father was a farmer. His mother was a farmer's wife until she went to this. Like his mother,
She was much more than a farmer's wife, my brother.
it's 3-time widower.
Was she a murderer?
She got him in the right positions to succeed with a lot of smart guys.
She was a ruthless mother, willing to do whatever it took,
yeah.
including abandoning her own son.
Like who
It was
knows?
for the better.
Today's
It was for the better.
Today's Isaac Newton might be,
You, Billy.
no.
No?
No.
You never know. Yeah, but he would have a hard time in a social setting like school.
Yeah,
sure.
Which I think would hijack his ability to succeed.
a lot of brilliant people have trouble in school.
Yep. There also might be an issue with all the information that we have these days. He might just be overloaded.
Yeah.
There was a dude I met who taught himself physics. And I don't mean like the principles. I mean like he can calculate shit. Like I had a video conference with him, but he like at 16 he dropped out of school and just started studying on his own, and he taught himself physics. Like
Wow.
it's some brilliant motherfuckers out here.
Just
bro.
because he loved it, it was interesting to him, and he was
he
like,
just
I'm gonna-
he just loved it. He just fucking loved it.
What's the weirdest thing you guys have ever gotten really into? Weirdest interest or weirdest thing you wanted to learn about?
Rest stops.
Okay.
So you said rest stops?
Yeah, like turnpike rest stops.
How much do you know about rest stops?
Well, specifically in Ohio, when I was younger, I used to have an app that would show you every rest stop and what restaurants were at them. And then I would know how many, depending on where I was on the turnpike, whatever rest stop was next, I knew what restaurant. I then memorized the restaurants that were at them. So I would then force my mom, if we were going somewhere, because the turnpike runs east to west. So if we were going somewhere that was anywhere remotely close, and I was like, you can't take the normal highway, we have to take the turnpike so I can go to the rest stops. And then I would take a picture in front of every single one.
We need to find these pictures.
I should have, I can ask my friend for him because I know I used to take jumping pictures in front of them. I was like 14.
Can we find those pictures, and can you drop those pictures in the DatChat group?
Yes.
For macrodosing?
Can I drop those in the DatChat?
We need to.
You should be able to, yes.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing some interacting with people in the DatChat app.
Yeah. So I have 3 places that I'm obsessed with to this day: rest stops, airports, and hospitals.
Love me a good airport.
How old were you in these pictures? Were you like 5 years old, just like beaming ear to ear, like, look, I found another rest stop?
No, like 16 or 17.
Oh wow.
I feel like
I
earlier
assumed this was like a very
No, I didn't
young
even.
mad dog.
No,
doing
I
this.
didn't even get into it till I was like 12 or 13. Ohio turnpikes are really I like them. They're like domes. They're sick. Hold on, I'm gonna ask my friend for them.
Earlier this show, Mad Dog alluded to calling KB and Nick big weirdos. I feel like she has to apologize now.
No, I never said I wasn't, but I also now that I've moved here, now I've got to see different rest stops. So like if I drive from here home, I go through New York, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. Pennsylvania doesn't have good rest stops, but New York does, in my humble opinion. Oh yeah, I love rest stops.
I mean, I feel like if anybody knows, you do.
Oh my God, if my parents...
No, Mad Dog. One of the best rest stops I've ever been to in my life was somewhere in Pennsylvania. It was between here and Toronto. I forget where it was, but it was somewhere in Pennsylvania. It was awesome.
See, the thing is if my parents are listening to this, they're gonna be really embarrassed because I talk about this with like everyone. Hold on.
What's the GOAT rest stop?
Buc-ee's.
Yeah, Buc-ee's is good.
I've never been to Texas.
The largest truck stop on earth in Iowa on I-90.
The Florida Welcome Center, where they give you free orange juice.
Ooh.
See,
Can't get that anywhere.
That's the thing is
No, fuck you. It's special when it comes from the Florida rest stop. You don't
Is
get
it fresh squeezed though?
I don't know. It's just like, hey, we're in Florida now. This is cool. We're going on vacation. Free orange juice. It's you don't get it. You got to be. Y'all don't get it.
I'm 100% bougie when it comes to orange juice. I cannot drink that shit unless it's freshly squeezed. That shit tastes horrible if it's not fresh squeezed.
I could go for a rest stop orange juice though. I like that it's a celebration. I like that
it's like, hey, we're about to be on vacation. We're at the Florida rest stop.
It's like when you check into a hotel.
Yeah, the cookies.
In
I
the
think I've
Bahamas.
heard that tone from Big D before. What the fuck was that, bro?
I loves his free orange juice.
Listen.
It tastes better if it's free. That's just a fact.
For sure.
Yeah, y'all would think that. Let's just make everything free.
Subsidized orange juice. Who's paying for that orange juice, Big T? It's not free.
You're correct.
Big T, you don't like free shit, Big T?
I on a micro level, I do.
When it's for him.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we can't just go willy-nilly making everything free. I mean, it's not how it works. But if you want a little free Dixie cup of orange juice, that's great.
That's your tax dollars at work right there.
It
Big
is.
T. The people in Florida are paying taxes, subsidizing people coming from outside their tax pool, trying to give them free shit. You're a leech. Big T's putting together
by your bootstraps.
Big T's
get your own fucking orange juice.
Listen,
putting together
what I pay,
the mother of all caravans driving from the north across the state line in Florida just to suck up that sweet
what
OJ.
I pay in federal and New York income tax, I deserve a free Dixie cup of orange juice. Damn it!
Mighty entitled over there.
Yeah.
Deserve. Wow.
What about you,
Yeah.
Coley? What's the weirdest thing you've ever gotten into?
I don't know, man.
Austin.
I've spent much like you, like my whole life on this screen, just reading everything that I've come. Like it's hard to answer. Like my recent thing is I'll watch like these 30-minute, extremely in-depth like watch repair videos. I don't like watches, don't care for them, don't like wearing shit on my wrist. The intricacy of all the moving parts inside of a watch. I've watched about 100 of these. I have no better understanding as to how a watch works than I did when I first started, but it's fucking fascinating to watch people break it down all the way, clean it as in-depthly as they do, and then bring it back to life. That's right now my strangest thing that I won't stop doing. It's like visual ASMR to me. Like it's very soothing for reasons I don't. The amount of control, the precision, like all of it is just absurd. And I don't know how anyone ever got a watch to work to begin with. Like that blows my mind.
Yeah, drop everybody in the replies to this episode. Drop links to the best watch repair videos for Coley to watch.
They're incredible.
I actually heard somebody describe. I was watching a video about Isaac Newton today, and they were describing the way that he would describe how the universe worked in conjunction with each other as kind of like a watch, the different parts. And that's what he was quantifying when he was talking about the different equations. He was explaining how this one part interacts with another, and they were breaking it down like it was a watch. So I get it. That sounds interesting.
Absolutely.
My friend found me the picture. This is from my senior year of high school. I was like getting into college and obsessed with these. Hold on, I'm gonna put it
At a rest stop.
Yeah. I just put it in the group chat.
What about you, Arian? What's the weirdest thing you've gotten into?
I don't think it's weird. I think it's just I said so 3 things that I could think of. I went down a flat earth rabbit hole for a good few months where I was just obsessed with their logic or lack thereof. That one for sure. I got really into Gravity. That one still irks me. Like it's still, I will read or watch anything that has to do with gravity. Like I'm like kind of obsessed with it. I guess the weird one that I have no connection to and no interest in partaking in is I've watched so many videos on how to cook brisket and I have no desire to try. It's just really, I like watching niggas cook brisket. I don't know what it is. You know that masterclass shit?
Yeah.
I watched the brisket one. I got masterclass to watch the dude cook the brick. And it's a great app, otherwise, but I literally got it just to watch the dude, I think it's from Tennessee, on how to cook a brisket. YouTube videos. I love when they cook it and then they cut it and then they squeeze it. I don't know what kind of weird shit I get from it, but it's just, I love watching it. I don't know why. And it's just brisket. It's not any other meat. It's just brisket.
Because you get to see a change. You get to see the starting of the product and then you get to watch it transform to the end.
It's fast. Like they cut and they trim and then they just beautiful. I don't know why.
There's something like the watch thing. There's something about watching someone like, I don't even know if they're at truly the top of their craft, but someone who is a master at what they are doing, do it to completion. There's something that's like incredible in that.
Yeah, I agree.
What about you, Big T?
I think Madeline said earlier, I love airports. Love everything about an airport. When I'm going to a new airport for the first time, I research it beforehand. I look up what's in the terminal I'm going to be at. I love airports so much so, especially restaurants and airports. There are restaurants at LaGuardia I like so much that I eat there on return flights. Like I'm 30 minutes from my apartment. I stay at the airport.
Mm-hmm. On your way out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a commitment to it. So you don't even find the aviation aspect.
I do love planes. I like planes a lot. But like I'm not like, watching videos on like how they fly the plane and shit. I like the idea of planes. I like plane travel a lot, except for the space aspect of it, because it's not Big T friendly. But I like airports and planes a lot. One of my favorite things to do is when I get on a plane, you touch the outside of it. Love that. Best 3 seconds of my day every time I fly.
Big T, I do that too. I have
that.
to do that or the plane will crash.
Love that. It's just cool to me that like you touch something that's going to fly. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. If I don't touch the outside of a plane before I get in, I think it's going to crash.
Damn. That thought has never even occurred to me, to like slap the outside of the plane.
Yeah, I do feel like you have to do it before you get on.
For sure. I was in the new terminal of LaGuardia last week. Fucking awesome. It's got
really
that
nice there.
The waterfall that shows movies on it. So cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much money that cost that I paid for, but it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be in this group chat that every time like I would take off for a flight or somebody was in a flight, I would send a GIF of a plane crashing. Just fucked up.
Wait. What's more concerning to me is
he doesn't say GIF or GIF. He spells it.
You call it a GIF?
That's better than getting made fun of.
If I was going to say it's because it's controversial. Is it GIF or GIF? I would say GIF. I just spell it out.
Love that.
It's a GIF.
Yeah, it's got to be GIF.
It's definitely a GIF, but yeah, I might start calling it a GIF now.
Yeah,
that's what I usually do. Actually.
What about you, Billy? Billy's probably got a list that's 5 miles.
I'll give you an example. There's this game. There's this game called the Powder Game, and it's like a computer game that you can just like Google, and it basically is a sandbox that you have like a bunch of lists of different types of substances and you can like mix them all together and it does cool stuff. It's literally just like a chemistry sandbox. So like, for example, I could take water and pour it on fire, or lasers, or like C4 and blow stuff up. I could also like build something and then blow it up. You can just literally just do whatever you want.
You're combining materials.
Yeah. It's weird.
All right, build me something.
People will know what I'm talking about. But for example, I can like take magma, and then the magma goes in the water, evaporates it, and then I can
make gold.
Yeah, I can make gold, and then I take nitro and I sprinkle that on the magma, and then it just all blows up.
That's pretty sweet.
It's just something weird that you just fiddle around with.
Okay.
That may be Skyrim. I lost.
That reminded me of a word that was really weird that I looked up one time. Smegma.
Whoa.
Yeah, very weird. Google it at your own risk. Actually, don't do a Google image search.
Yeah.
You will not be happy with the result.
Stick with the words.
What about you, Avery? What's the weirdest thing that you've gotten really into?
I think food tastes better when you have water in your mouth.
Okay.
Elaborate on that.
Like, I don't know. I was eating a cookie yesterday, and I just took a sip of water as I was chewing it, and it enhanced the taste. So I've been doing it more often. Pretzels taste better with water. It enhanced the taste of like the sodium. I don't know. It's weird.
Do you mean just like a hydrated mouth, or you're actually putting water in while you're eating?
While I'm chewing, yeah. I don't know why.
That sounds nasty, actually.
It does.
Like
in
if you was to
retrospect.
dip a cookie in water, like you think you would like that?
No, I just think it's like the process of doing it. I don't know.
We have a whole department of people at this company who exclusively dunks cookies into water.
For some reason, I feel like
Who
it
is
enhances
that?
the taste.
Well, Hank doesn't dunk his cookies. Whenever he has Oreos, he washes his Oreos in water.
Yeah.
Yes, Oreos taste better in water. I actually agree with that.
It's crazy. That's honestly.
Then Marty brings them into the shower and washes them and eats them.
This was like a bit, right?
Explaining it to Arian's hilarious.
I wish.
So hold on. So, who's taking cookies with him in the shower?
Marty Mush. Is he in the office? Can someone bring him in?
Yeah, he's here.
You want me to text Marty, or
Yeah,
you want
get
to
him.
grab him?
I have a Oreos. I don't think they're that special.
You don't think Oreos are good? I like double stuffs.
I think they're just kind of like the chocolate's fake.
The thing with Oreos though is like it's not like there's a ton of competition. Like obviously there's generic Oreos, but like chocolate chip cookies, there's endless amounts of chocolate chip cookies. Oreos are Oreos. End of story.
A decent chocolate chip cookie though just absolutely takes a big old shit on an Oreo.
Well, yeah, we're not saying that, but I'm saying like
Oreos better in ice cream.
fair.
Oh, so like Oreo milkshakes.
Yeah.
Those are good. Yeah.
Did you guys ever have a Friel? Did you guys have Friels at gas stations?
I've had a free.
I love those. The Oreo Friels are really good. They're like those things you take them out of a gas station, like a Sheetz or something, and they're a lid, and you put them in a little machine. It's like a milkshake, and you say what kind of thickness you want, and you pick your flavor, and then you put it in, and it stabs it like a Keurig, and it makes you a milkshake.
Yeah, it's like a milkshake Keurig. That's a good way.
I've never heard of that before.
Another Midwest thing. Marty Mush is here.
All right, we got Marty coming in. Can we give him a headset?
Yeah, here.
Just get in front of the camera so Arian can see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arian.
Arian, this is Marty Mush.
I feel bad. Me?
He's a good friend of ours. He's another. I'd say he has one of the most curious minds at this company. He's got a unique brain.
That wasn't nice.
No, you have a curious mind.
How are you, Arian?
What's up, my G?
How you doing?
They was saying that you take cookies with you in the shower.
Oh yeah, you don't?
No, definitely do not. Can you explain your thought process, my brother?
Yeah. So I usually do a pre-cookie before the shower, and I do one in the shower to enhance the chocolate, and then I have one for after the shower because all the steam and shit gets the into the chocolate, and it tastes unbelievable. I'll also dip it in just like under the sink too.
Yo,
I'm telling you, like, you have to try it.
Is it every
don't.
shower or is it a special treat?
Not every shower, but like
Okay.
when I do have Oreos, like it's the best tasting cookie you'll have in your life.
Explain the middle Oreo while you're in the shower. How it makes it taste better.
When I'm like, it's before I start washing myself too, because I like to like lean on the wall because you want some coldness on you in the hotness. You know what I mean? I can't believe I'm talking to you like this.
No, what do you do with the Oreo? So you step into the shower, you have the Oreo in one hand.
Yeah.
Do you keep it out of the shower stream?
Yeah, out of the shower stream, but then I put it in. So
Okay.
I'll turn around. It's like a dip. You don't want it to get it too saggy. Like if it gets too saggy, it's just like dripping shit. You know?
Saggy or soggy?
Saggy.
He only said saggy. You
Because
guys
it is
know
saggy. Because what happens when a tit goes to your knees? It's sagging. It's soggy. It's exactly what happens to chocolate.
So you bring it into the stream as you bite into it. Am I hearing that right?
Say it again.
You bring the Oreo with your one hand. So you get in the shower. You've already eaten your pre-Oreo.
Mm-hmm.
You get in. You're leaning half in, half out of the shower to get the hot and the cold. I understand that.
Yeah.
Then you reach over. Do you keep the Oreo like on the sink? Do you keep it next to the shower? You grab the Oreo and then you bring it in with your one hand, and then you let it pass through the stream of water before you eat it.
Have you taken a shower with me?
Not that I know.
Sounds like
of.
exactly what I do.
Are you dressed?
My dress? No, I'm in the shower. I shower. I wash my hair after. What do you mean?
But you do this before soap gets involved.
Yeah. I'm not that sick.
Yeah.
I'm not like washing my body and eating an Oreo, you know?
Yeah.
Soap and Oreos are bad.
New York Times did an article and it said water is indeed a useful flavor enhancer exactly because it dilutes the ingredients. It dilutes other ingredients and balances it out.
Oh,
I agree with Marty.
I agree too. You got at least, you like Oreos?
They're
They're all right.
I don't know if I'm going to partake in this shower expedition that you got going on, man.
It might enhance your day.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna get an Oreo.
Yeah, what's the worst thing that could happen?
Yeah, I'm gonna get an Oreo. And okay, so explain the process one more last time. So you it's like you let the steam soak into it.
That's the third Oreo. Yeah, that's the third one.
I mean, what are you fucking up to? The first one's like regular Oreo.
The first one's regular Oreo. You just eat it for yourself, so you know how it actually tastes. Well, when it's dry as a bag, right? The second one is the one you bring in the shower with you, and that's where you got a little water on it, like you kind of dip it in, dip it out, little back and forth, hammer it down. And the third one enhances all the steam in it, so it's a little saggy, but it's like almost like it's stale, but it's not stale, and it tastes unbelievable.
I'm gonna try it, man.
It's good.
I'm going straight to the third Oreo though. The rest of them shits, I'm cool on.
You don't want to dip it in water?
I don't want to dip it in water.
All right, that's fair. At least you're trying though.
I'll try it
out, man.
I think
it's
everyone on
not
the show
terribly
should try.
dissimilar than dipping it in milk.
Yeah, it's just water.
No, milk is not water.
I agree, but like it's still just getting it wet.
Yeah, that's also true. Have you tried it yet, Coley?
No.
You guys. As my friends, this is.
I'll try it. I'll try it.
All
I
right.
haven't tried it before, but I will try it.
I'll try it.
I'd like a report back.
Next episode, I will give my Oreo shower report.
Wait, no, he'll actually be here. We could all do it together.
In the shower.
Well, not in the shower, but no.
The shower.
I was saying like
Pause.
run it under a sink. I think it's still the same impact.
We do have a shower. It's like, think of it like it's after a game, Arian. After we do a podcast, all hit the shower together as a team.
And grab an Oreo.
Grab an Oreo. Yeah.
All right.
Not what I meant.
Barrett, feel like this was successful. Got everyone. It's gonna catch on one day. It's gonna be mainstream.
And you're gonna be the Isaac Newton of that, my brother.
Yep. The Johnny Atkins.
Marty, hold on. Marty, what are your Isaac Newton thoughts?
No, I didn't understand. Billy asked me today. I have dumb things to say, and I don't want to say dumb things. You know.
No, say it.
Not after your
This is a
Oreo
pro
shower.
dumb podcast.
Newton's, is that the laws?
Yeah.
Fig.
Yeah.
His name's Isaac. Had
Yeah.
no idea
Yeah.
it was Isaac.
Sir Isaac Newton.
Thought it was just Newton the entire time. Thought it was like an Ichiro type.
Or Cher.
Wait. Ichiro had a first name, didn't he?
Not really. I don't know. Well, Arian, it was really nice to meet you for the first time.
Likewise, my brother.
Yeah,
I appreciate
good
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
No problem.
That shit was hilarious.
Thanks, Marty. Marty, if you want to come to our live show, let us know. We'd like to have Marty's thoughts.
You have a live
Yeah.
show?
Yeah, we're doing a live show next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
Yeah.
Can I come?
Yeah.
All right.
Let me know.
Nope. Added tickets. Fuck out of here.
Time me in.
Okay.
Old out, man.
All right, that's Marty. I'm glad that you got to be introduced to Marty's brain, Arian.
Yo, where's he from? Yo, he sounds like Ben Affleck in what's that movie where he had the thick little Boston accent?
Goodwill
He's
Hunting.
from Long Island.
No, Goodwill Hunting. What?
The town.
The town. There you go.
He's from Long Island.
They're part of the
Really?
same megalopolis.
Good point.
Jesus Christ.
Good
Marty was using my headphones during that, and I couldn't hear what Arian was saying. I could just see his face, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've underutilized Marty's brain with this show.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to get him involved in the mix for sure.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to do some voicemails?
Let's do it.
Let's do some voicemails.
Real quick, Archimedes might have discovered calculus before Newton.
Low key?
Low key. But a monk accidentally erased his work.
How do you accidentally erase?
Already sounds like Cap.
I don't know.
How does it get erased?
And then Einstein proved that much of Newton's physics laws work on Earth, but nowhere else in the universe.
That's not true at all, actually.
Ooh. Go off.
No, but he just discovered like the laws of motion and how thing, and he made the leap that says if it's on Earth, right, then the motion is the same out there, like, which still holds true, which is why we still use his equations to send things to space.
All right, before we get to the voicemails, they're brought to you by Sport Clips. We love Sport Clips. I have a standing date set at the end of this year if the Washington football team wins a playoff game. Looking increasingly unlikely, but if it does happen, I'm getting my hair cut at Sport Clips. Can't wait for that to possibly happen. Sport Clips is the best place to get your hair cut in the entire world. They've got the legendary steam towel experience, the MVP experience. It's the best, most relaxing haircut you can ever get. You can go to grandma's for the holidays, but don't go where she cuts her hair. Sport Clips, they are the pros in men's hair. If you have a cowlick, if you have a patchy beard, if you're finally wanting to grow out that mullet, maybe you just need a style that works every day, whatever you need, go to Sport Clips Haircuts. It's not your grandma's hair place. Sport Clips stylists are experts in men's hair. Cutting men's hair can be harder than cutting women's hair, and Sport Clips stylists are specifically trained to cut men's hair. They know the tips, they know the tricks. They can make sure that guys get the best cut to suit their facial shape, hair texture, and lifestyle. Remember, you can go to grandma's for the holidays, but not where she cuts her hair. Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair. All right, let's do some voicemails.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm Mad Dog. This is Amanda from Vancouver, Canada. I'm a scientist working at a biotech company in Vancouver, and I swear your conversations about Fauci and COVID do more for people's understanding of science than many scientists. So because of this, I was wondering if you could get money to research anything science related, what would it be? And not frogs, Billy. Love the show.
All right. Shout out to our Canadian listeners.
Shout out to us for doing more for the science
I was going to
community.
say, I don't want to breeze past that.
Yeah, good for us.
That's fire. That is absolutely fire.
What would you want to research? I feel like we really haven't done much in the field of alchemy recently until today's podcast. That was something that we let slip by the wayside for a couple hundred years. Maybe we should just bring that back. Also, time travel. Can one of these smart people get to work on time travel?
Oh, I saw this totally out there theory on time travel. We've been able to time travel, but every time they time travel, they don't move in space. So when they reappear where the Earth was, where they want to travel. So they've learned how to travel in time, but they haven't learned to travel time and space, because this exact point in the universe 100 years ago, like the Earth
was in a different spot. So they just show up in space.
Right.
And then they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
But see, that's the whole thing about Einstein, right? Why he was so brilliant. His whole thing is that space and time are not, you can't disassociate them. Space is time. Time is space. It's the same thing.
Time is money.
He called it space time.
I know.
He called it space time.
Yeah, but it was like it's an interesting idea.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
it's probably not practical.
Yeah, I didn't mean to shit on you, Billy. We are talking about, this is an Isaac Newton episode.
I know.
Like, we should get some of the science correct.
I would like to figure out a way to make something that tastes really, really good and is also good for you. It's amazing that there's nothing that exists that tastes awesome. I'm talking like something that you crave all the time. But
that's not true. Or for me, avocados. Oh my fucking God.
Yeah, Arian.
There it is. I will make love to an avocado. I love avocados. I love them.
Do you put salt on them?
You can put yes, salt.
Okay, that's
pepper.
bad for you.
Okay, take off the salt. Still fucking with avocado.
You could just eat straight up avocados all the time.
Oh yeah,
I could do that.
out the shell. Oh God, yes, I do that actually. Absolutely. And all salt is not bad for you.
It gives you kidney stones.
It gave you kidney stones. I'm sorry, that was a dig. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, maybe avocados, but they have a lot of fat in them too.
But that's the good fat though. It's the thing. There are healthy fats.
All right, name
Avocados are superfood.
Those 100 calorie snack packs, the Oreo ones. Those are good.
Those are Oreos though.
But
They're
they were
not good.
100
They're not good for you. That's like being steak's good for you if all you have is one rib. Like there's no. I can't personally think of a thing that tastes absolutely delicious. All the good tasting things are very bad for you.
What about I like fruit a lot, but I guess you don't.
Yeah, fruit's okay, but I don't like it.
But it's not like, oh fuck.
It's a lot of sugar too.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't get pumped about sitting down and eating a banana. You know, I get pumped if I sit down and I've got a bowl of ice cream.
I love strawberries and raspberries.
If they came out tomorrow, they're like,
You're right.
strawberries are incredibly healthy. I could house 80 strawberries.
Dude,
a day.
that's known that they're good for you. It's,
Well, yeah,
it's
but
fruit.
not like, but he's saying yes,
Came out.
yes, they're fine. But he's saying something that's like
they'll make you live forever.
awesome for you. Like, I mean, they have a lot of sugar, shit like that. But like, strawberries are fucking awesome.
If they could make a healthy McDonald's,
Actually, I think I know what we need to put our research into. Figure out how to get rid of hangovers.
ooh,
This seems like a very lucrative line of science to get into also, because if you could legitimately sit down and say, if you take this after you drink or before you drink, you will not get hungover, you would sell billions and billions of dollars worth of product in your first year. It'd be incredible.
there's a pill I would take in college for that. Milk
I think they
thistle?
already have figured that out. Actually,
I got a pretty good supplement regimen that gets you pretty good.
Milk thistle doesn't work though. It might help your liver. I don't know. I don't know what the studies say about that, but I'm talking about something that you can take.
That just is like no hangover.
Feel normal. Yeah.
all hangovers are dehydration, and so if you just hydrate yourself, it'll drastically decrease your hangover symptoms.
That I don't
And,
think
like-
that's entirely true though, because sometimes if I go out and I drink a lot, I don't just get the physical symptoms, but you get like the mental anxiety that comes with it.
So
yeah,
And my brain doesn't work the same way if I'm hungover.
Isn't that
L-theanine.
withdrawal technically?
Yeah, it might be withdrawal, it might be alcohol withdrawal.
So alcohol binds to GABA. From what it has something to do with GABA, and basically L-theanine is an active ingredient in green tea. If you get isolated L-theanine and take it, it takes the edge right off that.
What kind of edge are we talking about?
Like, let's say you're like freaking out, like, oh my god, like I got so drunk last night and I have work this week and it's Sunday and I have to go prepare for part of my take. Just take an L-theanine.
You're talking about what happened to you yesterday. Did you have theanine?
L-theanine. I mean, it's literally, honestly, I think it is like a miracle.
Can you buy it in like a pill form, or do
Yeah,
you just
you
drink a shit ton of green tea?
Well,
I know because you do that
I
anyways.
drink a shit ton of green tea. I'm sort of addicted to it because
Yeah.
it kind of it's a really amazing amino acid because it helps your brain produce GABA, which chills you out and sort of it gets you into the flow state easier too. If you don't like if you're not even hungover, if you take some L-theanine mixed with caffeine, it helps you like just not have mental blocks. I think it is an amazing.
Can you get me some?
Yeah, I actually have a ton at home.
Okay, yeah, bring some in. I'll experiment on myself.
I give it to
I don't
Mincy.
see my hangover. My hangovers are really, really bad, which is why I don't really drink nearly as much as I used to. I like have a couple beers maybe once a week now. But when you get older, they get so much worse that it's actually like it's done a great job deterring me from drinking.
I'm not looking forward to that part of my life.
Yep.
I'm bruh. Okay, when I'm there, drink with me.
Yep.
And do what I do. And if you get, I'll be really surprised if you get a hangover. Okay. I don't get hangovers. Like I don't get.
Did you just drink water?
It's not just water. It's because water itself, and it depends on what kind of water you drink, right? Because a lot of bottled water, they filter out a lot of the minerals that actually hydrate us, right? And so you have to like Gatorade or stuff that replaces electrolytes. A really good one is Pedialyte. Even when we were in training camp,
Liquid IV.
Yeah, that too. But, like, we used to drink Pedialyte instead of Gatorade because it's a better hydrator than Gatorade is.
Revitolite.
Revitolite.
That's what we have in the office.
We have a branded electrolyte mixture.
Yeah,
for
Aaron, when you come in, we'll just give you like tons of Revitolite.
Isn't it Barstool branded?
There is
Yes.
Barstool
One
branded
flavor.
kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up, but Pedialyte works for me. I mean, I don't know.
Pedialyte.
It's like this. It's like same vibe.
I've also heard that pickle juice. I like pickle juice. Pickle juice is
I
what.
love pickle juice.
Yeah,
I'm
Emmitt
not even
Smith
on
used to
no-
drink it on the sidelines.
That shit tastes good, though.
Mhm.
Mustard for cramps. I was chugging mustard during that.
Man, what, man?
That's a thing.
Chugging mustard?
I've never heard of chugging mustard,
Well, you
especially
just-
for cramps.
Yellow mustard? Dijon?
Yellow mustard, yeah. If you were when I ran a marathon, no training, on a treadmill, and I was just doing mustard the whole time. It's a
He
thing.
did.
There's
Billy did run this marathon.
No, I have no. I'm laughing because it sounds funny as shit, but I'm not taking a stance. I have no idea if mustard. works for
mustard's another one.
Do you get PFT? Do you get more hungover when you drink beers or when you go and drink your like little the novelty drinks? that
I
you
mean,
drink?
sugar definitely adds to it if you do too
like
much.
the one you had on your story this weekend looked like one that would get you a hangover.
Yeah,
Bandits.
yeah, that was good, but I think it's just more about the quantity, and really I think it's about more the mental side coming down from a hangover, and I get real bad hangover anxiety, and so that's what I'm really trying to avoid. I can deal with a headache,
Right. Is your anxiety, oh my God, what did I do? Or is it just anxiety about your life that stems from having a hangover?
just everything. Like I feel bad, my hands start sweating, and just feel bad about everything. Nothing is good.
I get that sometimes too, and it just feels like I don't know. It's not like an anxiety. I think a lot of people think anxiety is like you just worry a lot. That's not. It's like a physical property that I don't know. It's just like something's wrong, and you don't know what it is. It's like it's just that it's the ever pressing feeling.
Yeah,
It doesn't go away.
and sometimes I even struggle to speak if I'm very, very hungover. It like impedes my whatever mental process that leads from my brain to my mouth. It's tough. So which is why I very rarely will drink at all on a Saturday. And if I do, it'll be like during the day because I don't like to be hungover at all on Sunday.
Yeah, and you get that like
You get the 9 p.m. hangover?
Yeah.
And you get like that like feels like a knife stabbing you in between your. That's when it's bad.
Sometimes. Yeah. So science. Hey, science, get to work on hangovers.
Bet.
And time travel.
Time travel.
And how you can get jacked without
I would
shutting
say-
down your national testosterone production.
Yep.
That one too.
I would say on a serious note, I think I've heard some of this stuff. I haven't done it too much research into it, but a way of turning the CO2 that we produce into something healthy for the environment, like trees.
Mm-hmm.
So like a way to artificially do that, something to combat climate change is, I think, probably one of the more pressing things on the docket list.
All right, we got any more voicemails?
Yep.
Hey fellas, Carl from Texas, actually on a road trip, currently cruising the back roads of Tuscaloosa, looking for a campsite for the night. So really enjoying the podcast on some ghosts, especially. It's really making setting the tone for the heavily wooded dark drive here. But anyway, I digress. I thought I figured I'd ask y'all, if you could go back to college and major in any one subject and it had zero bearing on your current career outcome or your current career path, what would it be and why? And if you want to throw in another layer, just throw in where you might have wanted to go to school if it wasn't the place that you got your degree from. Anyway, you fellas and gals, stay handsome, stay gorgeous, and love the podcast. Really appreciate y'all's work. Y'all take care.
Okay, good question. What would you study and where would you study it? I think
I would. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think it'd be sick to be a doctor.
Yeah, I wish I did pre-med because I just did undergraduate. So
if I was like a surgeon, if I was low key a surgeon, just walking around, able to fix anybody if they got hurt all the time, just know how the body works. So yeah, I would study at Johns Hopkins, and I would be a surgeon. Boom, easy.
I would absolutely go to school for physics. I wanted to do astrophysics when I first got to school, but they said it conflicted with my schedule. And I was nowhere near in the headspace to do that shit anyway. But it would definitely be physics. And instead of Tennessee, I would probably I got offered to go to Stanford. I would probably go to Stanford.
Yeah, Stanford's a good one. I think the overall college experience at Stanford might be one of the best in America. Just like, it's a beautiful campus, and the sports are good out there. Education's obviously really good too.
Yeah.
It checks all the boxes. Anyone else?
I would want to major in history because I love history a lot. I'd still go to Tennessee. Or I would, I mean, I guess we're talking about going back to college. It means undergrad, but I always wanted to go to law school. So maybe I'd just do that also.
I know a lot of people that have gone to law school.
Everyone I know that has gone to law school is like, yeah, you shouldn't.
Yeah, they all hate it.
Yeah, every single person I know.
Apparently it's very, very tedious.
Yeah. I'm fascinated by the law and I like arguing with people. So it seems like a worthwhile few years.
You would go back and study just so that you could get hired by Scott Peterson to get him off.
Once you all figure out time travel, I'll go back and do that. And then, there was nothing his lawyers could have done. I mean, they did a good job. It was just a crooked jury. There's just no two ways around it. There was no evidence to convict that man.
Jesus.
There's really nothing his lawyers could have done. It's a damn shame.
What about you, Billy?
I think I kind of wish I went pre-med.
Yeah.
And then think about med school. I don't know. I'm in a weird part where like I can still kind of do.
I forget if I told you guys this. Did I ever tell you that I took a pre-med class by accident one time in college?
No.
How'd that go?
Well, I'm just very lazy, and I didn't sign up for my courses until the last second, and I needed one more class to fill out my schedule. And the only class that I could find that worked with the timing of all my other classes was like a 400 level pre-med class about reading and interpreting EKG exams. So, you know, like the heartbeat, the charts.
Mm-hmm.
That class was so fucking hard. I was surrounded by people that were going to go along to be doctors. I didn't have any of the prerequisites for it. You just dropped me in a class, and now all of a sudden I have to figure out how the fucking heart works.
Well,
and about how that shows up on EKGs. I studied my ass off in that class. Like, I'm talking, I would do shit like I would leave, go home, put my nose in a book for 2 hours trying to figure out this fucking heart thing.
But at the end of the day, weren't you just matching like patterns to?
No, because you have to know what goes into all the bumps.
Right.
So in order to look at a chart and then diagnose what's wrong with somebody's heart. So the way that they're measured, you've got these electrodes that you put on people's chests. What the electrodes measure is the polarization of the human heart at any given time. So you've got the pacemaker that's at the top of your heart next to your aorta, and when it goes off, it tells your heart all the muscles to contract. And the reason that your muscles contract is because they switch from being positively charged to negatively charged. Mm-hmm. So that's a natural reaction of it's a small shock to the muscle that is your heart. So you can, by where the electrodes are placed on your body, you can see, okay, the left ventricle is abnormally large because this part of the spike, the QRS complex, is way, way bigger than it should be compared to the other ones. And so I learned how to like actually read an EKG, and I can look at somebody's EKG and tell them what their heart looks like, or if they have an issue like a arrhythmia or something like that. That class sucked. I got a D- in it. Most proud I've ever been of a D- in my life. I love
That's fucking hilarious. It's even more funny that Billy just tried to. Don't they just fucking?
Yeah, if it goes like this, you're okay. If it's flat, you're dead. Yeah.
Yeah, that class.
Fuck that up.
Do you
that
think you
class
could
sucked,
check
but I
one
kind of
out?
liked it. Yeah, show me an EKG right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Really? You've got a D-. Like, I don't know that.
Come on, man.
A D- how many years ago?
15 years ago.
I don't think we should bang on PFT's heart managing skill. I mean, 400 level class
definitely
you
read
just
it
dropped
better
in.
than any of
I'm
us.
impressed, my G. I'm impressed, my G.
I had to figure that shit out.
Because I get so many EKGs. Well, I used to get so many EKGs because I have atrial fibrillation.
Mm-hmm.
And so for the longest, I thought when I would go into AFib, like it was a very uncomfortable feeling, and like I thought I was gonna die. Like I didn't know what it was, and so I had to get a lot of echocardiograms and EKGs. So I've seen them a lot. Don't know what they fucking mean. So, but I know enough to know it's not just squiggly lines like Billy did.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually remember.
No, but they can't like the way they see a lot of it is they look at like the lines.
Yeah,
he just told you what they look.
Yeah,
no, I want to have a debate with Billy about.
I know I'm not going to try
read an EKG.
But don't you look at the graphs and then figure out how the consensus? Isn't it like it's very visual?
You look at the graph, and depending on where the lines spike on it, that tells you where the polarization in your heart is occurring at any given time. And you can tell, okay, this is an abnormally large ventricle based on the elongated spike here. And this is what it should look like. And since it doesn't look like that, I can point you to the fact that you either have a physical deformity or you have a problem in the pacemaker part of your heart, which is causing all the contractions to happen. When I was getting my surgery for my shoulder, I was coming out of the I almost called it euthanasia, but that's not it. I was coming out of the anesthesia. Yeah, they didn't try to kill me, I don't think. And I remember looking over at my EKG, which was going on the chart, and I was like, "Hey, nurse, I think I'm experiencing premature ventricular contractions." And she came over and she was like, "Yeah, you are. Is this normal for you?" And I was like, "No, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's trigeminy on the PVCs." And she was like, "Yeah, just let me know if anything bad happens." And I was like,
she was like, "Shut the fuck up, nerd."
Yeah. She was like, "Okay, all right, weirdo, I'm gonna leave you be." But yeah, Billy, show me an EKG. I'll interpret it.
I got one.
Okay.
Stunt on your nurse with an EKG.
It was 15 years ago too.
I know. I don't want to actually. I believe you.
Okay, thank you. It means a lot. I could spot AFib. I could spot AFib on one of those charts.
Yeah, you could.
I have to be in AFib, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think a really good one would be aviation. I have a buddy who did that. Would be really cool to know how to fly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've been getting really into aviation videos on YouTube recently too. Kind of like the way that Coley was talking about watchmaking. Mm-hmm. I've seen all the parts of a plane, the names of the part. Watch repair. I can tell you the different names of things on a plane. Have no idea how they work together. Yeah. If you put me in a cockpit, I would be dead within seconds.
Not even crashing, just immediately dead.
Yeah. The plane would know that I wasn't supposed to be there and was self-destruct.
I would have when I applied to college, there were only two I really wanted to go to. I wanted to go to Syracuse or UMass. And I applied to be in the journalism department for both. UMass accepted me, obviously. Syracuse accepted me, but they put me into sports management and not journalism. And I didn't want to be hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, just tens of thousands of dollars. So I went to UMass. I would like to go back and choose the other path and try and be a GM.
What is the prerequisites for being a GM? Do you have to have?
I think you just have to know the right people, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't
because there are so many different people with so many different backgrounds. Some are heavy analytic degree people. Some are just happen to be the son of a guy. Like there's no true path to do it, but Syracuse seems like the right institution to make some of the connections to do that. I mean, I feel very overly confident in my abilities to do that job tomorrow, should it be handed to me. So I bet with correct training and understanding of how to truly manage people in that field, it would be even easier. Talent evaluation.
A lot of people have like finance or econ backgrounds.
Right.
How would you fix the Washington football team?
I'd come up with a real name. That's fine.
Okay. Good start.
The quarterback issue that you've had my entire life is trouble. So I'd probably get Rivera up out of there. I'd start with someone younger, more innovative. The defense is kind of set. I know you guys have been shitty this year, but the defense is strong.
Are we? We're very, very bad though. I know what you're saying.
This year, terrible.
We're good. We should be good, but we're very, very bad. If you look at third down defense, it's crazy how much worse we are than the second worst team. It's mind-boggling. It's insane. I think the Dolphins are like 50% on their third down defense. That's pretty bad.
I'm trying to think, who's your secondary? Like, is still Landon Collins your best player back there?
Well, Landon Collins technically should be a good player, but he's so bad at playing safety now that they moved him to linebacker, which is never a good sign for a safety. We've got some good cornerbacks too. Should have a very strong front seven. We're just a mess. We're a mess.
Yeah, the front seven. I mean, I feel like when Washington football was at its absolute peak, it was the offensive line that was doing all the hard work. Am I wrong?
Yeah, the Hogs. Yep.
So,
I mean,
like,
Joe Gibbs won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks and 3 different running backs.
Right.
Pretty tough to do.
So I would like where you guys went wrong as an organization was not giving Trent Williams like cancer screenings and B money. Those 2 things right there, I would argue those were where you guys fucked up the most in recent history. You also didn't give Jason Campbell enough of a leash. Like, he should have been allowed to cook more.
All right, I'm going to disagree with you on the Jason Campbell one.
I'm trying to think of a better quarterback you've had over the last 20 years, and it was like RG3 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year of RG3. That was really the highlight. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think we've isolated the problems. All right, yeah, I'd hire you to be a GM.
If RG3 doesn't get hurt, do you think he has like a good productive career?
Maybe, but he was also he was so annoying to some of his teammates, and that got covered up a lot his rookie year because he was playing so well. But they didn't like him even when he was playing well. So
he got robbed from his own team parking lot when he was on the Browns. Like, that story should be told more often. Just how big of a it's not an indictment of Cleveland. It's an indictment of how big of a nerd he is.
Oh, no one liked him. No one liked him.
Someone felt, huh?
No one liked him in Cleveland either.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, that would never happen to anyone else.
He was a great player that rookie year. He changed the way that I felt about football, really, because he made me actually appreciate the Washington football team, which is very, very hard to do. And watching that rookie year, the most exciting quarterback I've ever seen. And I was very upset when he got hurt. I wish it didn't happen. But who knows? Who knows how that would have shaken out? It was a mess the entire time. Also, the dynamic that he had, I don't want to blame it entirely on RG3 because the way that the team was set up and their structure was basically Dan Snyder was like RG3's direct report. So he had, a straight up line to the owner, and then everybody else was playing under different rules. That's more about Dan Snyder's management style than it is about the actual players. So the way it was set up was probably never going to work long term.
It would be hard to overcome Dan Snyder as no matter what. It's just one of those things. Like, Sarver's never going to win. Fucking some owners just aren't going to win.
Mm-hmm. I think that'll about wrap it up for today's Macrodosing. Good episode. Special shout out to Hendon, Tyler, Marty, all the greats that stopped by today.
Mm-hmm. And next week we'll all be here in person.
We will be, and we'll see a select group of you out at what's the name of the bar again?
Lucky Jack's.
Lucky Jack's on Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
A week from today.
Love it. Can't wait. We'll see you guys there. Anything else?
Good money, man.
We need to beat Georgia.
Georgia.
Get everybody to go to the bowl game.
Beat Georgia. This weekend we are all volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to watch this week.
Let's go. The group chat's going to be lit.
Yeah.
It will.
Lit.
We got to get some Orchies.
Oh yeah. Apples are red.
Apples are red.
Mountains are blue. All right. See you guys for snack dosing. Love you guys.